Feast your eyes on a living, modern marvel. One of the great wonders of the world. I would even venture to say, the greatest.
Christian Cage
Instant
is an instant classic.
Instant classic.
The Model T. Instant gone with the wind.
Instant.
The steam locomotive. Instant Bogart. I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. No. I am greater than sliced bread. I'm greater than great.
I'm great.
I am an instant classic.
Christian Cage.
I am an
Two-time
instant
NWA
classic.
World Heavyweight Champion.
I wouldn't say master of the universe. I'd say champion of the universe. Unbeaten, undefeated, undeniable time. NWA Instant World Heavyweight Champion. Classic. I am a two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. One of the great wonders of the world. I'm greater. I'd say champion of the universe. I am an instant classic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night. It's been your privilege. Be sure to tip your waitress.
The most coveted, most prestigious title in our sport. It's at stake. It's on the line. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship goes to the winner. And let's go to the tail of the tape for our main event matchup. You look at the raw numbers, and it shows just how even the physical aspect of the matchup is. Jarrett has the edge in years pro, and it's enhanced by his experience in so many high-profile matchups. Yes, pressure from TNA management, from Larry Zbyszko, and they have taken precautionary measures. It's Jarrett's experience, but it's also the opportunity to prove that without a glass ceiling, you can succeed at the top. Unlike Jarrett's cockiness, Christian exudes a level of confidence strong enough to promise a title win to fans, peers, and even to Sting.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is your main event of the evening. Making their way to the ring, TNA Management Consultant Dave Hebner, Championship Committee member Larry Zbyszko, and the Championship Committee's specially appointed referee, Mr. Earl Hebner.
Wow, we were wondering what decision they were going to make, and they went out and got the most controversial referee in the business.
Yeah, the most notorious, the most infamous referee in wrestling history. I mean, Survivor Series 97, Montreal, Quebec, Shawn Michaels, quote unquote, defeated Bret Hart with the sharpshooter. Yes, Earl Hebner was a referee. #1 contender. This is the challenger who has guaranteed victory. 12 years in the professional wrestling business, and in his mind, it all comes to a head tonight. This is what he's been waiting for. This is what he's been pointing to. Captain Charisma, Christian Cage, has got his shot at making history at the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
You can feel the electricity in this building. If there's anything as a home field advantage, this man has it. Because to a man, they are standing and cheering. Christian Cage.
And here comes his opponent, the reigning, the defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, the King of the Mountain, and he is accompanied to the ring by Gail Kim. Here comes a man who has been so dominant in the TNA era. TNA wrestling in existence for just under 4 years. This man, Jeff Jarrett, has held the NWA World Heavyweight Championship for 2.5 of those 4
Like him, hate him, you gotta respect how he has survived, how he continues to stay the champion. It's unbelievable that no matter what odds are thrown at him, it always seems like the king of the mountain is the last man standing.
And then when you factor Earl Hebner into the equation as the referee, the brother of TNA management consultant Dave Hebner.
I smell a rat. I smell a rat.
Well, there's one thing you can say about Earl Hebner. He's always been very loyal to his employer. He's always been very loyal to management.
Well, he's going to have to be tonight because he's going to be scrutinized more than any other referee has in a long, long time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, it's time for your Against All Odds main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, official Mr. Earl Hebner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the combatants. First of all, standing in the corner to my left. He weighed in this morning at 230 pounds. Born in Toronto, now making his home out of Tampa, Florida. Tonight, he attempts to fulfill a 12-year dream by becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. This is the #1 contender, Captain Charisma, Christian Cage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing in the corner to my right. He is accompanied tonight by Gail Kim and weighed in this morning at 238 pounds. He is the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. This is the king of the mountain, Jeff Jarrett.
And Jarrett gets right in the face of the challenger, Christian Cage, and referee Earl Hebner backs Jarrett down.
Well, he's going to have to take control of this match right from the start. And look at Larry Zbyszko. He's got words. He shakes the hand of Captain Charisma coming over to the champ. I've got to give it to him. I've been very critical of Larry Zbyszko, especially with the Raven situation and how I thought that was just done wrong by Larry Zbyszko. But he seems to be very sincere about seeing that this thing is a level playing field.
I think he realizes what's at stake, and what's at stake is his job. TNA management laid down the law to Zbyszko, and Larry Zbyszko laid down the law to the entire locker room. He said, we're not going to stand for any outside interference. If there is outside interference, you're going to get fired.
Well, I think Larry Zbyszko's hedging his bets, too. He's making sure that whatever the outcome is, he's covered, and he can say that he did the right thing. But again, all eyes are going to be on Earl Hebner. You talk about controversy.
And there you see the championship belt displayed. And Jeff Jarrett has really been a true world's champion. In the past 4 years, he's had title matches all over the globe. Finland, Scotland, England, Ireland, New Zealand, Germany, Mexico, South Korea, Canada, the United States, of course. A true world's heavyweight champion, and that's when you win the NWA World's Heavyweight title. That's what you represent. You're not a company champion, you're a champion all over the world.
The chess match begins here, Mike. As you can see, the face-off, they're sizing each other up. They've got to be careful they don't let their emotions get the best of them early on. Each one has a game plan, and they're going to have to stick to it.
Shoulder block and quick pin attempt by Christian Cage. Springs off the ropes again. Drops Jarrett right in his tracks and again goes for the cover. Wow, quick pace here in the opening minute of this matchup.
It's almost like Christian Cage is just a little wound up right there, but every time he gets Jeff Jarrett the pin, Jeff Jarrett doesn't allow him to last long. It's just almost like the hit of the hand from Earl Hebner just forces him back to his feet.
Both men circle and hook it up in mid-ring, and Jarrett cuts him off, caught him with a knee right into the midsection, rocks him with a series of rights to the side of the head, grabs the side headlock, but Christian Cage fires him off into the ropes. Jarrett able to duck the clothesline, catches him with a drop toe hold, and then he just paintbrushes him. You know he wants to get Christian Cage out of his game. He wants to get under his skin, and with moves like that, he can accomplish just that.
Well, that's what makes him so great as a champion. He knows how to get in your head. He knows how to make you so frustrated that you're going to make a mistake. And all Jeff Jarrett needs you to do is make one mistake, and then he'll become victorious. But Christian Cage not going to bite on it right now.
Quick reversal. Jarrett shoots him off into the corner. Head and shoulders fake into a roll-up pin attempt. No, just a 2 count.
Great move right there by Christian Cage as he had Jeff Jarrett guessing the wrong way.
Jarrett positioned now by Christian Cage, going to try and elevate him up into the air, and does. Jarrett lands on the ring apron. Jarrett going to try and fight back. Shoulder block from the apron, from outside. Now Jarrett going to try a suplex. Christian up, lands on the apron. Great agility, going to try and fight him off, and does. Series of rights. Oh, to the side of the head, and Jarrett rocked him with a right, and Christian Cage fights right back.
You can see they're just trading blows right here. Oh, what a shot right there with a little inverted DDT action right there. Looking right there, you see Christian's wife.
That's
the
Denise.
concern on her face.
Denise, the wife of Christian Cage, looking on from the front row, from the ringside seat, has to be happy with what she just witnessed there as Christian Cage hit that inverted DDT, and Jarrett crashed the
Look
back
at
of his
this.
head.
He's going all the way up. Oh, but Jarrett gets out of the way, and he hits the rail dead on.
Just crashed and burned.
That's what I'm talking about, the champion. He goes you into doing whatever you want. As you see Denise right there looking on, and she's got to be concerned.
Well, you're not kidding. Cheering him on, but at the same time, obviously concerned over a series of events that has seen Jeff Jarrett quickly take control here, and a weakened Christian Cage going to be, oh no, look out!
Right into the rail.
He just swung it, and the side of his body, as well as his shoulder, crashed right into the safety rail. And check out Earl Hebner.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is doing an unbelievable job of taking control of this match as a referee.
That's what TNA management wanted. They said, we want somebody who's going to lay down the law. Look out right here at the broadcast table.
Just ran right into it.
Jarrett fires Christian Cage right into the table, rocks him with a right hand. He's got him right set up here against the table. Look
One
at
after another.
One after the other to the side of the head.
Jeff Jarrett's in total control right here as Christian Cage still hasn't recovered from that shot he took to the rail. That shot that he took, and look at this. Oh, man, right into the table.
Catapult move by the champ and the challenger. Don, you felt it, you saw it. Christian just went directly right into the side of the table here.
Oh, man, and again, right on that chest point where he hit the rail. Unbelievable. Jeff Jarrett is in total control.
A weakened Christian Cage sent off.
What a drop kick!
Caught it, perfect timing, perfect leg placement, but the drop kick only leads to a 2 count.
Oh, you can just feel the tension. You can feel the excitement. Somebody's life's gonna change here tonight. Think about the victory this would mean to the King of the Mountain. Everybody they throw at him, he defeats. Nash, Payne, 1, 2.
In the mind of Jeff Jarrett, the champion, just another one added to the list of victims. You talked earlier about Kevin Nash, Diamond Dallas Page. Jarrett mentioned Rhino, talking about going to Japan to take it to Hulk Hogan.
Think about this, too. If Christian Cage loses this match, where does he go from there? At what point does he go back to that mid-card? And Jeff Jarrett said he would. I mean, he's got so much pressure on him.
And that was the one thing that really got under Christian's, without question. That's the one thing that took him out of his game, really got under his skin when Jarrett referred to him as that mid-card comedy act. How about this? Earl Hebner pulls Jeff Jarrett at the hair and pulls.
Oh! Wow, look at that! He's not intimidated by the King of the Mountain.
Not in the least.
I like the way he did that. He just pushed him right back, and Jarrett had to look him in the eyes and realize he can't go too far there. But, oh, man, Christian Cage out of breath. You can see the spit coming out of his mouth.
The throat and the windpipe of Christian Cage across that cable, that steel cable, the ring rope. Jarrett crashes down with all of his weight across his back, drops out to the floor.
Hey, look at Gail Kim! To the referee, and she snaps the Hurricanrana. She's interfered, and the referee didn't see it.
Behind the back of her count for Jarrett.
If he would have seen that, she'd have been fired. So close. But she took a risk right there, but again, they're just wearing Christian Cage down. And I have the feeling about this. You are so jacked up for this match. You're so nervous. You get so emotional, and that saps your strength. It saps your energy.
How many times, Don, have we seen it? In professional wrestling and in other sports as well. You're right. You get so high. The adrenaline rush at an all-time high level for Christian Cage, the challenger, going into this matchup. But then, once the bell rings, you've got to do it inside the six-sided ring. The float over by Jarrett leads to a sleeper attempt, and Christian Cage fights through, fires him off into the ropes, and now the sleeper applied by Captain Charisma.
And that's perfect for him if he can hold on to it. Something to get his breath and take out some of Jarrett's. And look at this. Oh, man. Wow. Christian Cage able to take advantage of that.
Counters with a power bomb, and gonna spin through here and
Set up
apply
a
the figure
figure
four
four.
leg lock. Jarrett is blocking it. And Christian gonna sit back and cap it off, and there's the figure four leg lock. A hold that we have seen Jeff Jarrett use on many, many occasions, now being used against him. Gail Kim.
Look at this. He's reaching out as Gail Kim is help pulling him back toward the ropes, and it worked. And again, Gail Kim's able to do it out of the sight of the referee.
Difference maker. Gail Kim pulled Jarrett over to the side of the ring, and he was able to make contact with the ropes and get the break.
I'm starting to wonder, is it really out of the sight of the referee?
Well, it's behind his back. That's all we know at this point.
I
and
don't know.
I think Christian has the same question
Yes.
in his mind.
Like I said, I smelled a rat at the beginning. Nice kick to the back of the head right there by Jarrett.
Oh, Christian never saw that one coming. Jarrett drills him in the back of the head, and now Jarrett senses that it's time for him to take advantage.
Gonna do the same thing, it looks like.
Gonna step over and, oh, what? Sharpshooter!
Oh, look at this!
No, don't tell me!
Oh, this brings
Wait.
back memories.
But look at this! Christian Cage hooked onto the ankle of referee Earl
He's
Hebner.
saying, no, don't you dare!
Don't you dare do it!
What he's
Don't
gonna
you
do.
dare do it!
Don't you dare do it!
We don't want to repeat of 1997.
He's begging him not to do it. Look at this, Earl Hebner looking on, and he works his way, and he gets a hold.
Oh, he touched the rope. I don't think he saw it.
Oh, come on, how can he miss that? How can you miss that?
Christian Cage fighting through the pressure, fighting through the pain as Jarrett sits back on the sharpshooter.
I mean, think about the pain, the ankle, the knee, the back, everything that the pressure's applied to on that hold.
That's one way.
Christian Cage fights his way out of it.
He's got it reversed. Now can he turn it around? And yes, he does.
He's standing to his feet, and now look at it, Jarrett can't believe how the tides have turned. Oh, and he pulls him away from Gail Kim that time.
And as he pulls Jarrett back into the ring to try and keep him away from the ring ropes, he lost the pressure. He lost the grip on the sharpshooter. Oh!
He timed that and just placed it perfectly. You can see that Christian Cage, though, has got to get a second win. He's had so much taken out of him. So much taken out of him.
Both champion and challenger are down. Gail Kim shouting words of encouragement into the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, while referee Earl Hebner puts in the count. He's up to 4.
Man, both of them haven't even seemed to have done
Not even
to
moving.
get up.
Not even moving at this point.
Think about this. It would be the Jeff Jarrett Championship if Christian Cage can't get up. And you can see both of them now realizing where they are at the count. Earl Hebner just stops right there.
Jarrett springs off the ropes. Christian prepared, saw the move coming, blocked it, stops him and blocks it again, and now fights back with a series of rights.
Oh, beautiful shot right there, right where he hit him before. And now the rights, the lefts. Oh, and he hits him with a clothesline.
Inverted atomic drop, the series of rights, and you're right, the discus clothesline, and then the flying forearm shot, put the shoulder into him at the same time.
This is a chance for him to get some momentum because he hasn't really had any since the very beginning of this match. And it seems like he's finding himself. I think he's realizes that it's a war, not a battle. But look, oh, and he hits the DDT.
Dropped him, spiked him on his head. Desperation move, but now here's the cover. Here's the press. Leg 2.
Got it, no.
Wow.
So close. I'll tell you what, that's the kind of move when you hit it like that, it can be all over. But Jeff Jarrett just has that instinct. That's why he's the champion. He can hear that count. Even when he's dizzy and trying to figure, oh, look at him. Oh, he slid it, he caught the referee right there in the ankle.
And Earl Hebner went down. You can see Don grabbing onto the ankle and favoring it as Christian has taken control of this match, and he's going up to the top, and Gail Kim interferes again.
Well, she realizes that he's going up, and Jeff Jarrett uses the advantage to get right to his feet.
You're right, it's a free shot for Gail Kim in her mind with referee Earl Hebner down, and now Jarrett as well. Look at this.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he setting him up for the stroke?
From the top rope.
You're kidding me. He nails it from the top rope.
Stroke off the top. The patented finishing move of the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett. Is he going to cover Christian and keep the title?
He's got it from the top, and the referee, though, still reeling in pain. Jeff Jarrett now covers. He's calling for the ref.
Hebner favoring the ankle.
He gets over there.
Drags himself over.
2. No! He gets the shoulder up.
Just 2. Only 2.
I'll tell you, if it hadn't been for the fact that Earl Hebner was down, that would have been a pin right there, but it took a little extra time to get him over there. Crowd screaming Christian's name, trying to fire him up.
Almost as if Christian hears he's just daring Jarrett, and Jarrett's ready for him. Series of rights by the champ. Oh, that one caught him in the side of the head. Shot up into the ropes. Oh!
Again!
See that contact made with the referee's head that time.
Look at this, Earl Hebner is down.
He's knocked out. Is he gonna go for the move?
Oh, he's got it.
Up here. He's got him. Pin him.
He rolls him over, but there's no referee. Wait a minute. Coming in, that's Slick Johnson. Oh, and Jarrett just is able to get out of it.
Referee Mark Slick Johnson. You saw him earlier with Larry Zbyszko demanding to find out who was going to be the referee for this match. And with referee Earl Hebner knocked out, unconscious, he comes down to employ the count.
You can see it was so close. Christian Cage realizes it. He's got to be glad, though, that there is a referee out there now.
Look at Christian making the motion that the NWA World's Heavyweight title belt, it could be around his waist. It's just a 3 count or a submission away.
Catches him with the knee, and now he's going to try to set him up for the... Oh, but... Oh!
He was going to try and beat Jarrett with his own move. He was going for the stroke, and Jarrett caught him with the low blow.
That's a high risk.
He's going to disqualify Jarrett.
He just nailed the referee.
I think Johnson was going to disqualify Jarrett.
Oh, man, he wasn't going to take it. Now he's looking up, and he's yelled for...
He's motioned to Gail Kim. What? She's picked up. What has she got?
She
Steel
went
chair.
through the chair. Oh, wait a minute. With all the referees down, they don't see this. Christian Cage, though, goes at it, and he kicks it right into the head.
Missile drop kick. Right into the steel chair. And then the chair goes right into the face of Jarrett.
He's got it, but again, there's no referee.
You can hear him counting the impact zone. They're at 7. They're at 8. And now Christian Cage has come out the door, and he's chasing Gail Kim around the ring.
He's had it. He knows what she's... Oh, wait a minute, he's got her.
Well, that's one way to take care of this repeated interference.
He's had enough of this. Is he going to set her up? Oh, wait a minute.
No!
Guitar. Oh, he crushes him with it. No.
Guitar shot by Jarrett.
No.
Look at Gail Kim. Clear up the evidence. Look at her clean that evidence out of the ring.
And so putting it underneath the ring. Jarrett's got it. He's waiting again, though. The referee not there.
Nobody there to make the count.
Here he comes. Earl Hebner, he sees it.
Revive.
He's got it.
Rolls over. Here's the count.
1,
No.
2. No, this can't be happening. He got out. He got out. The crowd can't believe it.
There
People wondered why he would come over, and he's let everybody know. Because he wanted to be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And the crowd is not believing it. They've seen Jarrett come out of it so many times, but not tonight.
He made the guarantee. Christian Cage, he told the fans, he told his peers, he even told Sting, I guarantee you I'll be NWA World Heavyweight Champ, and Christian Cage delivered.
The celebration has begun. Jeff Jarrett is slunk out of here. It's all about Christian Cage, the new champion,
Now you can
world
say it.
champion.
The honor roll of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It bears the name Christian Cage, and it's a perfect fit. And it's a perfect ending, and at the same time, it's a perfect beginning.
Look at this. He's going over to his wife, Denise. You can see the hug
Oh,
there.
what a great
The
moment.
happiness.
What a great moment. The realization that the 12 years of hard work has paid off. It's finally paid off. Christian Cage, this is
And look
why
at
he-
this. Look at the ring. You gotta see it as the crowd coming in, mobbing him.
Rhino's in there as well. Christian Cage, this is why you came to TNA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bound for Glory continues with this 8-mile anything goes street fight scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Tampa, Florida, by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Christian Cage.
We are looking backstage here in Bound for Glory. Christian Cage preparing for the 8-mile street fight.
And his opponent from Detroit, Michigan, he is the War Machine, Rhino!
He's dedicated this matchup to the people, yes, of his hometown. And here comes the War Machine down the steps, through the crowd here in Detroit.
Man, if you gotta wonder about the concussions and everything that Christian Cage has done to him, Mike. But if you're gonna be able to get past that, if you're gonna be able to look past that, you're gonna be able to do it in your hometown of Detroit, and this crowd is gonna be behind Rhino 100%. And you can feel that. Look at Rhino going right after Christian. They're gonna start it. And look at this, milk the crowd and get them fired up.
Don, when we watched that video package prior to this matchup, I saw what you did, and I did it as well. As we saw the replays of every chair shot to the head by Christian Cage to the War Machine Rhino that caused those concussions. I win, you win. He's taking it to the back, and yeah, they're gonna start outside. 8-mile street fight here at the CompuWare Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The War Machine gonna go outside. He's gonna take it to the streets, and here we go.
And there they are as they just start blow for blow outside right here. And look at this. Oh, right on top of the vehicles. And I mean, this is going to be a war. This is going to be a war from start to finish. Anything goes in an 8-mile street fight, Mike.
That's
No
the key.
rules.
No rules. Turn him loose here. And if he goes in this match, and you can see, he's just been tossed on the hoods of several cars. The War Machine
Come on,
just brought
Christian.
it. Big
Get
right
up.
hand. Rocks
This is
Christian
my
Cage.
town. He just threw him into a garbage dump right there. Pulled him out, and man, look at this. The battle is on. And Rhino, he has come out focused. He has come out pumped up, and he's going to take it to Christian Cage early. And he's going to have to, because you have to wonder about his condition. Even though you don't see it right there, he's going to get his bell rung in this match, and you're going to have to wonder how it's going to affect him, Mike.
Just dropped him right there on a wooden pallet back first, and now going to take him back inside the building, and he just knocked over that whole stack of boxes.
Man, I'd hate to be the referee in something like this. Your job is to follow these guys anywhere and everywhere. You can see Christian Cage dropping things in Rhino's path. Anything he can do to deter him.
Wait a minute. He's up on top of the Zamboni, for God's sake.
Well, there is this. I mean, this is an ice skating rink.
It's a hockey arena, you're not kidding. The Zamboni back there in the backstage area. Oh, man, dropped him.
Right on top, and Rhino getting in the driver's position. He's driving the Zamboni cranked up.
Put it in gear, turn it loose.
There he goes.
Here he comes, he's got Christian on top, and he's driving the damn Zamboni into the building.
He's bringing it right up here to the close to the entrance zone. And you can see it right coming in from over there. Christian Cage looking lost right now.
Well, what a sight here at Bound for Glory.
Fighting on top of a Zamboni. Have you ever seen that?
No, I was just saying, just when you think you've seen everything, you turn onto a TNA pay-per-view like Bound for Glory, and wow, bad fall for Christian Cage. Look at the height of that from the top of the Zamboni.
Unbelievable. Christian Cage is going to have to find a way to get his bearings because Rhino has taken the fight right to him from the beginning, Mike. He's not let up for 1 second. Christian, I think, just trying to find some kind of a buffer. And Rhino relentless right here, just relentless.
Totally on the offensive, Don. We've seen it right from the outset of this matchup. The War Machine, and you can't blame him, totally focused on revenge. We've told the story so many times about these long-time personal friends. This is one friendship that's just been flushed right down the toilet by Christian Cage. He's picking up part of the set here, Don. Check this out. That's one of those street lamps signifying the 8 Mile street fight. Oh, man, and check that out. War Machine caught him. Rhino's got it, going to use it as a weapon.
Just cleaned his block. Swung like Albert Pujols right there.
I was just gonna say.
I'm going to say that quietly here in this town.
Swung it like about a 25-pound baseball bat. Well, looking like at least Ivan Rodriguez, shall we say.
There you go.
Balance it off.
He's got there it is, a street sign, 8 Mile Road, as he threw it into the ring. Oh, Christian Cage has had his bell rung, and he has not been able to get any kind of momentum. We saw him rake the eyes earlier, trying to do anything to stop Rhino, and it didn't even phase Rhino right now. The War Machine grabbing chairs from the crowd.
A little help from his hometown friends, would you say?
Oh, he's just throwing it in. He doesn't care. Look at that.
Gonna fill up the ring with all kinds of weapons, chair after chair being sent in. And now he's gonna go back and take Christian, face first right into the apron.
You gotta wonder if he was gone too long from Christian, but it doesn't seem like it. He just goes right after. Look at him now, trying to pull that other street lamp cords and all into the ring. Oh, and what happened was the cords got tangled, but he was able to hit Christian with it anyway. This is great. Look at that, busted him right on top of the back.
Gonna roll him over, and yes, go for a pin. Barely a 2 count before Christian Cage powers out. Used his leg strength to kick out before 3.
Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna win this match, is to get a pin like that, but I think he wants to inflict more damage. I don't even think he really cared about pinning him. He wants to gore him right here. Oh, and that's how you'll get back into Christian Cage.
Went for the gore. Came sprinting out of the corner, and Christian Cage just took that chair and wrapped it right around his neck. Hit him right in the face, right in the eye. You can see that. Rhino holding his eye.
And you got to think about the head of Rhino. All the excessive chair shots he's taken from Christian Cage in the past 2 months. You have to wonder about his health. And he caught him clean right there on top of the head.
And you can see referee Andrew Thomas, Don, checking with Rhino, and I'm sure that's the situation. I mean, as much as he's gone through, with the multiple concussions, with the post-concussion trauma, to be hit in the head with a chair like he just was right there, you've got to wonder, and he's 100%, and look at him try and fight back, and he caught him with a couple of moves and then sent him into the steel.
I mean, the doctor told him what, to not wrestle for 3-4 months, something like that, and he said he couldn't. He had to go out there. He had to do it here in Detroit. And he is still going at it. Christian Cage not able to get the momentum, and Rhino, he's getting the revenge he's wanted. The revenge he deserves.
Rhino said it. Remember the press conference. He said, there's no way I'm going to miss Bound for Glory in my hometown. Are you kidding me? Screw what the doctor said. Screw the doctor's orders. And now he's maybe a little celebration here with the fans. Hasn't beaten Christian Cage yet.
Just a little energy drink, Mike. That was Gatorade, I'm sure of that.
I'm sure it was.
Christian trying to get away, trying to find a place to get away. There's nowhere to go. They're packed in here like sardines. Oh,
no,
man.
He just went right into the hockey glass. I believe where they're at, Don, is over there by the bench area.
That's right.
Where normally the hockey players would be on the bench. He sent him into the glass, he brought him right back, and now he's going to toss toss him over the guardrail.
All over the Tupperware Arena right here as Rhino is taking it to Christian, and he has a couple shots, a great chair shot right there by Christian Cage. Was the only offense he was able to get. Now look at Rhino pulling out the tables. He is ready to just, this has been an absolute one-sided affair as it gets.
Christian with just that momentary burst of offense. When he used the chair, when he stopped Rhino in his tracks with that chair shot. But you're right, other than that, it has been all the War Machine here in his hometown.
Christian, I saw him sneak up to his feet right there and caught Rhino. And Rhino, I think, realizes it, okay, let me get in the ring, get out in front of Christian and get the momentum back. But Christian, knowing he's got to go, oh, look at this. A belly-to-belly suplex just sends him over.
Planted him right in mid-ring with that belly-to-belly and now turns his attention, to the table. What's he going to do? Going to stack it in the corner?
Oh, he's going to set him up and try to go right through there. I mean, Rhino is getting everything that he's thought about giving to Christian Cage. And look at this. Christian Cage just barely hanging on. Oh, wait a minute.
Shoulders down, 2 count only on Rhino. Christian Cage almost stole one.
That'd have been a disgrace for Christian Cage to win it that way. Oh, he just creamed him with the 8 Mile Road sign.
That's just no regular street sign, Don.
Just creamed him.
That street sign's got to be, what would you say, 4 or 5 feet?
4 feet at least. Oh, man, now that's what you do if you're Christian Cage. That's how you get things turned your way. I mean, it's all legal. Anything and everything in an 8 Mile street fight.
And he's spinning on the street sign, and we know what that signifies. It signifies what this man thinks of everybody that's in this building, of you fans at home, and yes, everyone from the city of Detroit in particular.
Oh, you can see now Christian Cage getting the ladder, throwing it in, as Rhino getting to his feet, and a shot after shot to the head, and now, oh, Rhino's busted, it looks like he is. Rhino's busted open, and I gotta tell you, I really believe that last shot was the 8 Mile Road sign. That shot right there, I think, you look at the eyes.
I was just gonna say, Don.
He's glazed over, he's done.
The close-up look that we just saw right there, the face of Rhino, and you can see it in his eyes. Don, this is what we've seen the past couple of times. Oh! Amazingly, as he was charged at with that ladder, he was able to drop Christian. Oh man, got him, got him in position on the ladder. Rhino gonna head up into the corner.
He still looks dazed to me.
He does to me too, blood flowing down his face. And, oh, that's not good.
He took too much time, and I think Christian Cage has seen it too, Mike. It's almost like he got fooled by Rhino, and he's set up now, he goes for the unprettier, and he hits it.
Dropped him down again on his head. Unprettier, 1, 2.
No! Rhino gets his shoulder up.
I mean, how many matches through the years has Christian Cage won with that move?
Oh, well.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Rhino is just right now in a different world, and he is not going to be beaten by Christian Cage tonight. And you can see that from the start. And no matter what Christian Cage does right here, Rhino gets to his feet.
Got that ladder in position. Oh, God, to use it as a weapon, and he does right into his face, right into the head.
Oh, no, he's holding it up, setting it up there. What's he going to do? Is he going to go high risk? No, he goes down and going to get more weapons. Oh, the crowd turning on Christmas. They should from the beginning. Everything he's done to disrespect him here. What is he doing down there?
I'm not sure. He's down underneath that ring, right at the apron, and I have no idea what he's going under the ring for. Obviously, it's another weapon.
Straight jacket.
Okay, steel chair and a straight jacket.
Oh, he's going to try to get him inside that straight jacket. No, look at the look on the glazed look on Rhino's face.
Scary, isn't it?
Oh, he's going to get him in that thing, and there's nothing Andrew Thomas can do to stop it. There's nothing he can do.
It's anything goes.
Anything goes. He can't do anything but look on. And look at, he's got Rhino in it.
He's got one arm in position. Now he's got the second one. And now he's cinching that straitjacket on it. He's helpless at this point. He's totally 100% defenseless. There's no way he can fight back. And now he's got the arms wrapped around and he's going to strap them together.
Someone, I know they can't stop it, but they got to. Oh, no. There's no way Rhino's coming out of this. Look at him, once he decided which chair he wants better. Oh, he wants that room. He threw the plastic chair away, and he grabbed the metal one. Did you see that? Oh, no. He's putting his head on the one metal chair.
Come on. The man can't fight back at all. Oh, thank God he was able to roll out of the way.
He was defenseless. Oh, Rhino fighting back. How is this guy fighting back? Got to his feet. He can't use it. Look at that. Oh, that's how you do it. You got to use everything at your disposal right there, and Rhino realizes it, and he calls to the ref to unhook him.
Might as well use that head as a battering ram. Exactly what he did. Referee Andrew Thomas able to take him out of the straitjacket and let him fight like a man here against Christian Cage.
Well, you got to respect the hey, no, he didn't stop him from putting it on, but when he got the chance to get it off of him, he asked it, and he got it off, and now you can see, though, Christian Cage still seems to be in control and have the high ground right here, but Rhino fighting for everything he's got.
Both men battling right on the ring apron. And there's not much room out there for these two men, especially the size of someone like Rhino. And Rhino momentarily getting the better of it, and he hit him with a right hand to the side of the head that sent Christian back inside the ring. Where's he going to take him now?
Rhino's got him set up on the rope right here. The table, there we go. He's going to send the table. Oh, look at this. Now, is he going to do what I think? Is he going to pile drive him? Yeah, he's going him right to the table. Wow. That was freaking awesome, man.
My God! Pile driver from the apron. Head first goes Christian Cage to the table. We've got to look at it again.
Let's see this right here. As you can see him pile drive him right there through the table.
Take another look.
Look
at this.
Oh, man. Rhino, I mean, this guy.
Here's a pin.
Got
Two.
it. Oh, he got his foot on the ropes. Christian Cage by instinct.
Operating on fumes, I think, at this point. Christian, just on instinct, you're right, able to take that leg, drape it over the bottom rope. It would have been a 3 count.
Oh,
Table's already
him.
there.
He's going to set him
I
up.
want you to scream it,
I
Don, when he
will,
hits
buddy.
it. When he hits
3
this.
loud ones. Oh, no! He went for the board. Christian Cage able to stop it.
Pin.
1, 2. Oh, he got out of it. How can he get out of that after crashing into that table that hard?
Sense of frustration on the face of Christian Cage. Unprettier a second time. Where's he going to take it? Oh! Right on
top of the
that
table.
Steel. Right on the steel part of the table.
2, it's done. Now! He got out of it again.
How many lives does he have?
This guy just won't die. Christian Cage nails the unprettier right there on top of the table.
But you have to be concerned
You've gotta
about these
yes.
serious shots to the head, and look out.
Look at this.
He's got steel chairs. He's stacking steel chairs. He's stacking a table as well on top of Rhino's.
Roadsides. He's just piling it on.
Putting him on his body, and
at
more
this.
importantly, Don, putting so much of that steel in those chairs right on his head.
Now what's he gonna do? Piled on more chairs. He's grabbed another metal chair.
Gonna use that as the
Oh, just slamming it on top of it. Look at the beating.
Think of the concussions.
Oh, this is awful. One shot after another. Beating him mercifully. Unmerciless as he is right there.
I just wish he'd pin him and get this sickness over with.
He rolls him over. There's nothing left in Rhino. 1, 2. Got it. 3.
It's almost like a mercy situation there.
Christian Cage!
Oh, man, Rhino kept rising from the grave, but he couldn't do it one more time. Couldn't do it one more time. Look at that. He piled everything with the kitchen sink on top of him, Mike.
What an incredible, gutsy effort by the War Machine Rhino. Christian Cage stacks the chairs, stacks the tables on his head, repeated shots to the head. He gains the 1, 2, 3. Christian Cage victorious and bound for glory.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a barbed wire 6 sides of steel grudge match. To win this contest, you must be the first competitor to escape the cage and have your feet hit the arena floor. Introducing first from Tampa, Florida, by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Christian Cage.
It was 1 year ago, November the 13th, 2005, when Christian Cage rocked the wrestling world by joining TNA. He defeated Jeff Jarrett in February to become NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he held the world's title for over 4 months before losing a King of the Mountain match where, quite honestly, Christian Cage was never pinned, he never submitted. But boy, since then, we've seen a totally different side of Christian Cage.
You talk about a different attitude. You talk about a transformation. He became a man that wasn't afraid to turn on his own friends, people that he grew up with, people that he grew up in this business with. He became a man that was concerned about one thing and one thing only, and that was Christian Cage.
For over a decade, Christian Cage and Rhino, great friends. They trained together, they traveled together, they socialized together. Christian Cage, he flushed 10 years of friendship right down the drain.
And his opponent from Detroit, Michigan, he is the War Machine, Rhino!
It was 2 weeks ago here on Impact in a weapons or escape four corners pole match where Rhino, he gained possession of the key to the cage door. He's got it in his hand. He also won the straitjacket, but if you recall, Christian Cage, he won the bolt cutters and the 2 steel chairs.
And you can see right there the officials taking the key and the straitjacket away from Rhino. The only way that they can get those, either the weapon or the means to escape the cage, is by asking the referees during the match in which time they will slip it through the cage to him. You can see earlier that Christian didn't bring his, the referees already had it, but this is going to be a situation, Mike, where when will they ask for the weapons and when will they try to get out of this cage?
We've never had this style of cage match in TNA. You can go out the cage door. You can go over the top of the cage to get the win. You've got to touch the arena floor. This match, it's not about pinfalls. It's not about submissions.
And just think about this too, Mike. To get out of there, and you can see Christian looking up top to go through that barbed wire. We've never had the barbed wire on top of the 6 sides of steel. And think of the damage it can do to your flesh. It can gouge your flesh, and it can cause unbelievable pain. But that's what you've got to go through if you want to go over to the top. Now remember, Christian can call for the bolt cutters if he gets a chance. He'll need them to get through that barbed wire.
That's the edge that he has. The bolt cutters and the steel chairs on, and those steel chairs have done so much damage to the War Machine Rhino during the course of this rivalry in the past few months.
Oh, there's been times where we didn't think Rhino would be able to get into the ring. Unbelievable amounts of concussions. Doctors have not even given him permission to be in the ring here tonight. But Rhino doesn't care about that. All he cares about is getting his revenge on the former friend, the former partner, and somebody that he grew up with. But Rhino right now, all he cares about is inflicting pain and damage on Christian Cage.
The War Machine, Rhino from the Motor City, rocked in the corner with the knife-edge chops from Christian Cage. Oh, but look at him turn it around. Series of chops. Oh, just opening up the flesh on the chest of Christian.
Boy, it looks like Rhino just hitting him with that extra authority, but Christian is always elusive. That's one thing you've got to give him. You've got to give him respect. You mentioned it earlier, Mike. He's never been pinned. He's never submitted. I mean, he's the guy who held that belt and actually didn't get beat personally to lose it. He's always held that on his mind. He's always used that to motivate him.
Oh, Rhino went for the press slam, the quick reversal, and the inverted DDT. That's the answer from Christian Cage.
It's interesting to hear how this crowd that at one time cheered Christian Cage to the point of no end. They loved him when he came in, and you can see Christian asking for the chairs right there. Referee Andrew Thomas slipping him in, but no. And now Rhino tries to grab him, but no, they can't give it to him. They have to hand them off to Christian Cage. But I want to mention that crowd that cheered Christian Cage religiously, and then they saw that transformation. They saw Christian Cage turn, and to this day, that crowd doesn't understand it, and they've not accepted him, and they let Christian Cage know at every chance they get.
Vicious shoulder block in the corner from the War Machine, and he's got Christian Cage on the defensive here. Look at him follow up the advantage. Gonna take Christian now, gonna set him up, and drive that big shot. Right hand, right into the side of the head. Gonna now shoot him across and back first into the corner. Oh, another shoulder block.
Oh, he did. He nails him with that shoulder block. And Mike, something we need to mention, everybody, and for those of you that have never seen a 6-sided steel cage, because of the 6 sides, it gives that cage no flexibility. As you hear the people going crazy, but that cage you'll watch, it doesn't have any give. That's something everybody talks about. When you hit that cage, it's like hitting a steel wall.
This crowd here in the Impact Zone, absolutely on fire, Don. Right from the opening, you can see there, Christian up at the top of the cage. Oh, he felt that barbed wire, and he just dropped down to the mat, and there he goes. That time, face first, right into the steel.
And you can see what I was talking about. He hit that, and watch this, right into it. And it's just like going right into a cheese grater. As you hit it straight on. It is a vicious place to be in because there's no give whatsoever.
From one side of the steel cage to the other, and then the gorilla press slam, and he threw him again, face first, body first, right into the unforgiving mesh.
I don't know how long that flesh can handle that. As you can see, Rhino now asking the referee, he's yelling for the key. He wants the key. Is he just going to try to end this match this early? Just go ahead and let himself out the door.
It's just that simple. You're right. Open the cage door, walk out and touch the floor, and the War Machine Rhino's victorious.
He's hesitating there right now as Christian Cage still hasn't gotten up. I mean, there's nothing to deter him from going right out of the cage.
Almost as if he's having second thoughts.
He's dangling the key right there in front of Christian Cage.
Yeah, he's taunting Christian Cage with the key, and Christian leaps for it, but he comes up just short.
Playing mind games, and he throws it out!
What's this? He tossed the key out of the cage!
That means they gotta go through the barbed wire to escape!
And welcome back, everyone, to the Primetime Special, the innovation of TNA. Total non-stop action wrestling, it's on display in this barbed wire, 6 sides of steel cage matchup involving a bloody Christian Cage and the War Machine Rhino. Oh, you've got to check this out. Ah, frog splash off the top!
Oh, you could see when we came back that Christian Cage had those bolt cutters cutting through the wire. Let's show you what happened during the break. You can see there he was catapulted into the cage. Then he returned the favor on Rhino. He got the bolt cutters, and he used them as a weapon, Mike, and then he went up top, cutting down the barbed wire, almost got out. But these two bloody warriors now, it is just getting intense.
Oh, you're not kidding. With the key out of play, the bolt cutters, that's the escape method for Christian Cage. And you can see where he snipped the barbed wire, and he's got an opening. He's got to go over the top. He's got to make the way down the side of the cage and down to the floor. And the War Machine, oh, look at him climb the side of the steel.
Well, he's so close to getting over there if he can leap down, but that's a dangerous leap from that high up. And you can see Rhino down. Look at this. Rhino taking his head right into the barbed wire, rubbing the already bloody face. Christian Cage writhing in pain. Look at that sight. It is gory. I'm telling you, folks, if you're squeamish, you might not want to watch because it is absolutely a bloody Christian Cage.
Blood flowing from the head and face of Christian Cage, and oh, backdrop suplex by the War Machine. That sent Christian Cage all the way across the ring.
The crowd is absolutely going nuts. They're seeing something they've never seen here at Total Non-Stop Action before. But that's what we do here on this primetime debut. We give you 6 sides of steel. We give you the barbed wire. And you can see Rhino asking for the straitjacket to see if he can use it to render Cage helpless.
And Don, we also give you Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, the best damn wrestler on the planet. His TNA in-ring debut yet to come, and oh, Christian Cage escapes just as Rhino is going to put him in the straitjacket.
It's amazing that Christian Cage can keep going with the beating that he's taken. He's had that face grinded in the barbed wire. He's had it grinded in the cage, but he just keeps coming back. But every time he gets close and he's going to try to get out of here again, Rhino's always there. Rhino not concerned about getting out. We saw that earlier when he threw the key outside of the cage. He's concerned about inflicting damage, but he better watch out because Cage is up at the top.
What a battle this has been between these two warriors. The months and months of bad blood finally coming to a head here in this Impact Primetime Special. And Christian Cage not only fighting up on the top rope, but he's going to try and use the barbed wire as a weapon.
Well, he's had it happen to him. He knows what it feels like, but he just couldn't get any leverage right there. But look at that. He bounces Rhino's head off the pole. No way is he setting him up for the unprettier on the top rope.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh, my
man,
God.
And he drove him down right into the mat.
You gotta be kidding me right there. If there is any chance, guys, any chance whatsoever, you gotta show us a replay on this. Unbelievable unprettier right there from the top rope.
It was that last ounce of strength from Christian Cage, unprettier from the top. And he took the War Machine down, but look at the amount of blood flowing from the head and face of Christian Cage.
You gotta wonder how much he's got left. These two warriors beating each other to death. And you can see Christian just falling back. He's going on sheer willpower. Rhino right there also has to realize that now Christian Cage has a straitjacket and has a chance to use it on him.
Oh, they're rocking the Impact Zone here at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. It is awesome, and Christian Cage has got Rhino. Oh, and he's got him on the verge of locking him up in the straitjacket.
You can hear the crowd. They know they're a part of history. They can feel that they're a part of history. They're seeing it right here as TNA makes his debut, and Rhino fighting away, knowing that if he gets those hands tied, It could be the end of it for him, because how will he stop Christian Cage from leaving?
And he's not only got the straitjacket arms tied together, he's got them tied together over the top rope. Oh, he's defenseless at this point.
Christian
War
Cage can
Machine's
get
in
right
trouble.
out.
Oh, he's gonna try and escape now.
Wait a minute, he's looking back. I think he realizes he's got him helpless. Oh no, could he be doing what I think? Yes.
I think he's calling for the chairs.
He's calling for the chairs. We've seen him inflict so much damage with those chairs. And Rhino's helpless right here. There's nothing he can do about this.
It was almost like a light bulb went off above the head of Christian Cage. He had second thoughts just as he was going to escape the 6 sides of steel. Just as he was going over the top, he decided no. He's got the War Machine defenseless, and he's got steel chairs. Look out!
Oh, what a boot right there by Rhino as he kicks it right in the groin. That'll stop him. You can see Rhino fighting, and he does get loose. Christian Cage had his moment, and he should have maybe taken it to get out, because now Rhino's loose, and you can see he's fired up.
It was a desperation move, but it's what he had to do. Series of clotheslines. Cage shot off. Oh, spine buster by Rhino.
Oh, he just hit that with a sickening thud. You could just hear Cage hit that mat, and you got to realize that Christian Cage can't have anything left. The momentum is turned right here. Christian Cage could have escaped, but he wanted to put an end to Rhino, and it cost him. And now Rhino's got the chair.
Straight jackets off. Oh yeah, how about a little concerto for you, Christian Cage? And you know, Rhino, who's been on the receiving end of these 6 steel chair shots, wants to get some payback, and oh, Christian just rolled out of the way.
Oh, he did. He waited to the last possible second, and he's able to use it to counter it, and now he gets the shots right on Rhino, and that backfired on Rhino. What a back-and-forth action this match has been, as these guys know each other so well.
Now what's he gonna do? Gonna set those 2 chairs in position. Gonna take a dazed Rhino. No, gonna go for the unprettier.
He's going to end it right there. No, Rhino's countered. Oh, but Christian Cage able to get out. But look at this. Rhino's got him up here. Oh, he's got him where he wants him.
And there you go. Face first right into the steel.
He also took a gut shot on the top of that chair. Could have broken some ribs. I mean, this is a war. Look at the blood. It's just a battle.
What an incredible matchup. 6 sides of steel. Barbed wire. Cage match. Christian Cage and Rhino. Oh, this has been everything we expected and more.
You gotta wonder what's going through Christian Cage's mind, if he can even think at all. We know what's going through Rhino's. He's setting up right there.
Get him!
He's looking for a gore.
Gore him! Get him! Oh no, toss the chair, and he got it right back in the face.
He just slammed that chair right back at Christian Cage. Right now, Rhino's got the momentum, and you can feel it. He's looking at the crowd. He's beating off of him. Gore!
He gored him right through the cage.
Ladies
You
and
hear the
gentlemen,
bell.
first man to reach the floor.
Christian
and the
Cage
winner
has
of this
won it.
contest,
He won it by default, as Rhino cost himself by goring him right through the cage door. Oh, we'll have to see the end of that again. What a finish. Rhino absolutely hits him with what he wanted to, but he hit him so hard he put him right through the cage.
Rhino looking over the prone body of Christian Cage. We're gonna take another look at the incredible action in this match.
And here it is, right through the ropes and right through the cage.
Pretty simple. Christian Cage, you may have won the battle, but Rhino, he won the war.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Thursday Night Impact feature contest. Scheduled for one fall, the winner of the match will face a missing turning point for the NWA World Championship. Introducing first from Tampa, Florida, by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Christian Cage.
And we are joined at the broadcast position by TNA Management's Jim Cornette for this all-important main event matchup. It's Christian Cage.
Oh, wait a minute! Look at that! Sting's right behind him and he doesn't even know it!
Cage doesn't have a clue. The first ever meeting of Christian Cage and Sting is going to start with a bang right now.
Sting just lets him out, and as he follows him out, Christian Cage, and he's getting what he deserves right here by the former champion.
Important high-profile main event matchup. The winner of this bout will go on to Turning Point December the 10th to challenge the new NWA NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss. Who's it going to be? Sting or Christian Cage? And man, Sting on the offensive here in the opening minute.
Oh, and Mike, what a historic event this is. The first ever meeting between two of the biggest single stars in TNA, Christian Cage and Sting, and it's all on the line. A shot at the NWA World Heavyweight title.
And we are so thrilled to bring it to you on this Thanksgiving night broadcast of Thursday Night Impact. And look at Sting now up in the crowd here at the Impact Zone. Big right hand right between the eyes. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we return to Thursday Night Impact, it's going to be more of Sting versus Christian Cage. And welcome back, everyone. Thursday Night Impact main event matchup.
We finally see Christian right there get a little momentum his way. And Sting has been a man possessed from the beginning, but Christian Cage found an
Off the
opening
drop
and
kick.
hit the drop kick and goes for the pin.
Near fall for Christian Cage. Sting totally in control of this matchup for the first few minutes, but now Christian Cage coming right back, and you can see Sting wearing the t-shirt. And that's understandable after this past Sunday at Genesis when he was put directly into those thumbtacks by the Monster Abyss.
Well, I'll tell you, look at Christian Cage. He is not bowed. He's not cowed by Sting's reputation, by Sting's talent. He is not intimidated. Christian Cage is cool. He knows what he wants to do, and he's systematically setting about to do it.
Could there be a better way for TNA to deal with the Latin American exchange after everything that we've put up with, the threats of burning the flag, than to put them in the ring next week on Thursday Night Impact? And yes, they will have to defend those tag team titles against Kurt Angle and Petey Williams.
Well, you know, I know that I'm supposed to be impartial as a member of management, but after I've been pawed on and snatched around and grabbed on by LAX, I'm going to be like every one of these Impact Zone fans and every one of the TNA Impact viewers at home. I'm going to be rooting for Kurt Angle and Petey Williams, the home team, in that situation. But right now, I think Sting needs some rooting from the home team of his own. Look at that. He's blinded. He can't see.
Well, Christian Cage has said all along that he wants that title shot. His squeaky wheels got in the greases. He's now got himself in such a high-profile match. All he's going to do is beat Sting, and it looks like he's on his way to that. As he just intimidating him now, just embarrassing him now. But here comes Sting right back.
Sting, that violent temper, we saw him lose control of himself at the pay-per-view at Genesis. And I think Christian Cage has lit that fuse again. He tried to insult Sting. And to Sting, that's worse than being physically beaten and pounded, is being insulted.
Jim Cornette, you have been around Sting his entire career. It was almost as if it was a completely different man. It was like Sting was a man possessed that we saw this last Sunday at Genesis.
I'm going to say this, I feel like a champion ought to lose his title by pinfall or submission. But that match clearly needed to be stopped because Sting was out of control. Somebody could have been seriously injured. A matter for a lot of debate at another time, because these guys are putting it all on the line for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship that Sting just lost a few days ago.
Think about this, Sting didn't have to give Christian this match, but he did. He's on a tear, and look at Sting right now. I mean, that is the man that we saw possessed at Genesis. Look at him with Christian Cage hanging in the balance.
Oh yeah, holding him high overhead. The press slam powers him down to the mat. He's gonna charge across. Stinger splash in the corner, rocks Christian Cage.
Sting taking it to Christian Cage now. And once again, as we said, I think that fuse, that very short fuse of Sting has been lit. Sting a changed man, more aggressive, more violent, more vicious than ever before. And could it be he's going for the stairs splash? He got the referee. He got the referee.
Referee Andrew Thomas knocked out. Got in the middle of that Stinger splash attempt. Sting gonna take down Christian Cage. Gonna lock on the Scorpion. Oh, and just when he went to make that final step and turn him over, Christian Cage raked the eyes.
Good shot right there by Christian Cage. He did what he had to do. He's resilient.
No.
He hits him with the inverted DDT.
That Scorpion death drop. Now he's going to the Scorpion. And what? If he turns him.
There it is. Turn him over.
If he turns him, he's got it.
There it is.
The referee's down. The referee's down. The referee can't see it.
Christian is trying to power. Wait a minute.
Who is this?
What? No.
What's going on?
Wait a minute. That's Tomko. That's Tomko.
This is a man who has solved problems for Christian Cage for several years, and out of nowhere, Tomko has hit the ring. Oh man, he holds Sting overhead, and he just tossed him away.
Tomko and Cage have a long history as friends and as partners, but Tomko, he doesn't even work for TNA. He's not a contracted wrestler here. He jumped in out of the crowd.
As always, Christian Cage has his bent edge, and you can see when things were going wrong, when it was over, he had Tomko waiting in the wings.
We don't even have a referee to ring the bell here. We don't. There's obviously this has gotten completely out of hand of Tomko, that giant of a man, 6'6" or better, 280 pounds.
I mean, guys, we need a winner in this match. We need to determine who's going to face Abyss for the NWA title at Turning Point. And Jim Cornette, bottom line, nothing's been settled.
I got a lot of thinking to do. I don't know what to do about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to find out who will face Kurt Angle next month at Against All Odds. Yes, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt. It's on the line tonight at Final Resolution. This three-way elimination main event, and there you see it. NWA World's Heavyweight title at stake. And let's look at the tail of the tape. You take a quick look at the numbers. It just emphasizes the sizable experience edge for Sting, but it also drives home that heightened weight advantage for Abyss. Both Sting and Mitchell vying to control the monster, but doing it in two totally different ways. Tomko brought to TNA to ensure Christian wins the title, but he's been barred from ringside tonight. TNA management's Jim Cornette wanted to give both Sting and Christian singles titles matches. He couldn't separate the top contenders, and he came up with an elimination match to satisfy both challengers.
As we see right here, Christian Cage. You know, we've been watching this battle between Sting and the Monster Abyss, and you wonder if Christian Cage feels he's got an advantage because maybe they're overlooking him. But one thing we talked about, he won't have Tomko at his side as Jim Cornette barred him from being at ringside. And we've got a cage set up right here by our announce table, Mike, and I'm wondering what that's going to be used for, and I'm assuming it's got something to do with that man right there.
Did you see the evil eye that Tomko gave that cage,
yes,
as well as us here at the broadcast table, as he came down, and I wonder if a light bulb just went on above the head of Tomko as we see challenger number one, Christian Cage, enter the six-sided ring for combat as part of this three-way elimination matchup for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. Wait a minute, here's Jim Cornette from TNA Management. He's the man who laid down the law and barred Tomko from ringside. You're gonna be right. And Cornette, I just heard it. He said, you're gonna be right there.
He's not going to bar him. He's going to make him watch through the steel cage and make it that much harder. And you can see Christian knows that if he wants any chance at this championship, he's going to have to abide by this. He had to do it himself once.
Challenger number one, Christian Cage, already in the impact zone. Ladies and gentlemen, the appearance of challenger number two, the wrestling icon himself, and what a reaction at Final Resolution for Sting. You know, we talked about how both Mitchell and Sting fighting for control of Abyss, going about it in those two totally different ways. You think about it, Mitchell controls Abyss, Don, like you treat a wild animal. He controls him by force, by threats. Sting, on the other hand, he's been trying to get inside the mind of Abyss. He reasons with him. He calls him Chris, which we believe is Abyss's real name. He's trying to set him free in his mind from the control of James Mitchell.
Feel this electricity every time he comes out.
And here comes the defending champion, the NWA World title holder, the Monster Abyss, 6'8", 350 pounds, and holding the belt high above his head. The championship is at stake. James Mitchell comes out. I've got to tell you, I've seen some strange and unusual things in all my years in wrestling. When it comes to disturbing video, I'm going to put that footage with James Mitchell and Abyss at the prison from 2 weeks ago on Impact. I'm going to put that up against anything that I've seen.
Well, the control that James Mitchell has on Abyss, too, is shaky at best. I know he seems to have it now, but you can see that Sting has been chinking at that armor. And you got to wonder, he still believes he can get through. He believes there's a human being behind that mask.
Abyss has been keeping a secret for years. That man, Christian Cage, claims that Tomko knows the secret, that they crossed paths in the past. James Mitchell, he insists that those two, Tomko and Christian, they know a few tidbits. They know one page out of a book, in the words of James Mitchell, when it comes to the secret that the Monster Abyss is hiding.
Elimination rules here.
And really,
they've already started it off.
Yeah, opening bell. And if you think about it, both of the challengers, Sting and Christian Cage, they both wanted singles matches for the NWA World Heavyweight title. Cornette couldn't separate them. So Cornette says we're going to do the next best thing. We're going to go under elimination rules. And Don, that is the key to this matchup. If you're pinned, if you submit, you're out, you're gone, but the match will continue.
It's one of those where you better be keeping eyes in the back of your head. We say it so much. But it's one of them situations where you better make sure you know where everybody is at all times, because if somebody catches you from behind as a quick roll-up, you're gone. It's going to be a lot of strategy involved, and I don't think you're going to see anybody working with anybody in this. There's too much at stake here, Mike.
Oh, in the corner, look at Sting now unload as he turns it around on Christian Cage. Yes, it's the two challengers battling. The corner mount, right hand after right hand to the top of the head, and Sting just laying him in there with so much impact.
Man, Sting's fired up, and you can tell it. You can feel the emotion, and he knows that he's close to winning that championship back, a belt that he got it Bound for Glory, and it didn't even have it, barely a month, and it was gone. And you can see that the crowd behind him. I'll tell you something. There's a strategy here that we don't talk about, and that strategy is kind of staying out of the way. If you can kind of avoid it a little bit, your chances of survival. And wow, that's gotta hurt.
Take his head off.
Take his head off is what Mitchell said, and you know, Don, totally different your strategy in this kind of a matchup from the three-way that we saw earlier. Oh! Where it was first pin or submission. It's like you just mentioned, as we see Sting sent face first right into that cage. And Christian, look at that, from the top, and he's caught in midair.
Look at the strength of this monster. Oh, he just throws him right on top of the rail.
It's what we expected. We talked about it in the tail of the tape. You see someone 6'8", 350, you know he's going to take advantage of that big height, that big weight advantage that he has, but quickness right there. Christian moves out of the way, and Abyss goes shoulder first right into the post.
Christian's going to have to be smarter than these guys right now. He's going to have to use his cunning that he has, and he did right there with Abyss, and you can see he's turning around, and now he goes right after Sting.
Oh, that was a big move. The Bulldog on the ramp for the champ. Attention turned to Sting, sends him into the cage.
Right
man.
on the concrete. Scooped and slammed him right on the concrete in front of us.
The unprotected concrete, no pads out there. Sting crashes down. You heard the thud. And now, here comes Christian Cage to roll the champ back into the ring.
Oh, you can see the kick right there to the head. Is Christian Cage, another shot to the gut. Just showing us the side of him as he's just battling it out, but he realizes it's a chance to try to eliminate Abyss if he can. As Sting is writhing right here in front of us from that concrete shot that he took. Brutal. And it was amazing how Christian used that cage to his advantage. He knew that Tomko was in there, but he just flung Sting right into it also.
Abyss sandwiches Cage in the corner, elevates him high into the air as he crashes down to the canvas, and Abyss can just feel it at this point.
Just that strength.
Took him up to his shoulders. I'd anticipate the shock treatment move out of that, but hadn't weakened Christian Cage sufficiently.
He's got it here, and he hits the shock treatment. Wow.
It goes for the pin.
One,
Here it is.
two. Oh,
wow.
Man, Christian Cage. Oh, that was close. That was close. He was almost eliminated right there, Mike.
How many people have we seen kick out from that shock treatment as Mitchell jumps up on the apron and just hits the doomsday?
The way he realizes he just wants to tear through these guys, one right after another.
Swinging a miss with the clothesline.
What a
Christian
shot.
Answers with a perfect move right there. Drop kick directed to the knee of the 6'8" champion. Christian gonna head to the top.
Well, you got to cut the big tree down, and that's how you do it. Oh, he went for the frog splash, but look at the Monster Abyss as he gets him, and then picks him up and slams him down.
Choke slam. Pin, 2, no. Wow.
Man,
boy, he is just throwing the book here at Christian Cage. Shock treatment, choke slam, 2 moves that normally gain him victories, but Christian's still alive, and he just dropped Sting. Did the Monster Abyss with a right hand. Whoa.
Sting had to actually use the cage to get his balance.
Look at Tomko out
Oh,
here.
no!
Tomko
Tomko!
is choking the life out of Sting. He reached his hands through the cage after that shot by Abyss. Black hole slam in the ring.
Oh, this is going to be it for
Oh,
wait a minute, there's no ref.
Referee Rudy Charles is out here trying to top Tomko.
Well,
He's trying to
this is-
keep him away from Sting.
Boy, is this going to Christian's advantage because he was done. He was done, and now Tomko using his foot to get pressure, everything that he can do, and now you can see the Monster Abyss saying, forget about that. I had him pinned, and there's nothing else referee Rudy Charles can do but get back in that ring.
Abyss tosses the ref back in and obviously thinks that he's going to take advantage of this situation where he's weakened Christian Cage.
Wow, look at him
Wow.
just flipping him over like a rag doll
He
right
hit
there.
him with a punch right in the chest, and that's what brought him into the ring. Going to goozle him and choke slam him again.
Sting able to get by.
Yeah, got out of the clutches of Tomko is what he did.
Nice kick right there, Mike. Wait a minute, look at this. Sting feeds the Monster Abyss right in and then hits him with
Scorpion death drop, pin,
two.
two.
He got it! Abyss is done!
Abyss is eliminated.
What just happened?
He's eliminated from the match. Abyss is eliminated.
What just happened? Abyss out, and it's going to boil down to Stinger Christian Cage. We're going to have a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion tonight.
Oh, James Mitchell's going absolutely bananas, just screaming, but look at that. And now Sting holds out his hand, trying to help him up. But the Monster Abyss, all he knows is he no longer has that belt.
You can hear him. He says, do it, Abyss. Referee Charles going to try and step in here. I don't know if he's going to be able to physically stop him or not. He's choking the life out of Sting.
And he just kind of throws him down. I thought he would try to inflict more damage, just that mentality knowing that you're no longer the champion. James Mitchell wanted to inflict as much pain as he could.
You just never can understand the dynamic here with Sting and Mitchell on the outside and Abyss in the middle. And
Like I said, he's been
controlling
chinking
it.
at that armor, and now Christian Cage able to come right in. You got to wonder what Sting's got left after Tomko choking him through the cage. Nice
Christian
drop
missile
kick.
drop kick off the top. Here's the pin. Here's two.
No! Man, I don't know. He just reached in, and now you can see Christian realizes that the man with the size advantage is gone.
Oh, Christian can feel it here. Blatant chokehold after the series of right hands right in front of the official, and yes, Rudy Charles makes him stop. Tomko, like a caged animal here beside the broadcast table. He's both cheering on Christian Cage, as well as looks like he wants to just bust right out of that cage.
Christian Cage right now has got to have just a whole different mindset, because knowing that 6'8", 350 pounds is not in that ring has got to absolutely make you feel like you can accomplish anything, and he knows how bad Sting's hurting. Look at this. He's trying every dirty trick that he can.
The beatdown, the wear down continues by Christian Cage. The winner of this contest right here between Sting and Christian Cage to become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion and to face Kurt Angle next month. Look at Sting come off the ropes. Oh man, what an elbow that was.
He used a couple elbows himself to try to get some momentum. He hit them ropes, and then Christian Cage just waiting for him, and now
Look how
he
confident.
feels it. Look at that, making the motion.
First the flex, and then you're right, motioning that yes, the NWA World Heavyweight title belt is coming to Christian Cage.
Sting, I think he's been so wrapped up into what's been going on with the Monster Abyss that I think he felt that it was going to come down to him and Abyss in this matchup. And now I think his game plan has changed, but he's got so much experience.
Look at Sting stalking Christian out of the corner.
Just taking that shot, he says, give me another
he's
one.
telling him, hit me with your best shot.
Look
That's
at this.
what Christian's doing. And Sting fights through.
Man, look at that. I mean, wow, what a psychological advantage is everything Christian gave him just bounced off of him. Oh, he's on emotion now.
Great elevation. Back body drop by Sting on Christian Cage. Gonna follow up the advantage. Gonna shoot him off into the ropes. Oh, he telegraphed the back body drop. It may cost him. Christian caught him with the boot. Sting quickly turns it around. Gonna take him high overhead.
Look at the strength right there as he's just holding him up in the air and just throws him down on his back.
Gorilla press slam by Sting. NWA World Heavyweight title hangs in the balance. Stinger splash in the corner. Gonna go back to the well one more time. Here he comes. Another Stinger splash.
Oh, he took too much time. Christian Cage able to sense it coming, get out of the way. You mentioned it, he went to the well, and he went one time too many.
Sting momentarily plays to the crowd, and it cost him. Can he regain control? From the top, superplex attempt on the way. Christian going to try and stop him, going to try and block him, but Sting just overpowered him.
What a superplex! As he just levels Christian right there. This is his chance. All he's got to do is go for the pin, and he'll be the world champion. Can he get up and cover him in time?
Oh, Mitchell, who took the Monster Abyss back to the locker room area, has come back down the ramp to survey the situation. And Sting's attention, his focus, is taken away from Christian Cage as he turns his back, and that's never a good thing to do.
Well, with James Mitchell, you've got to always be looking out, man. What a great.
Scorpion, if he turns him over, if he can apply the pressure, there it is.
He's going to tap out.
Oh, God, did you see that?
Oh, man, James Mitchell hit the guy that was holding the key. And he's opening it up.
He hit him over the head with a cane. He knocked him out. He's got the key away from the key holder, and Mitchell is he's gonna open up the cage to allow Tomko out.
Oh, man, Tomko is loose from the cage, and look at this. Now Mitchell's going to get his attention because he knows he can't see Tomko behind him.
No. Tomko takes Sting out of the Scorpion and drops him down.
This is what Christian needed right there. The guy that solves his problem.
Christian breaks the arm.
2. Oh, he's able to get the shoulder up just in time.
Wow. Tomko in again. Christian takes the referee out so that Rudy Charles doesn't see this.
The referee's distracted right now, and you can see Sting's fighting him over, and he doesn't. Gets him over the top of the rope.
Now, here comes Abyss down to ringside.
And look at that, Abyss goes after Tomko. He's helping him out.
Look out.
Oh, man, right here on the table.
Abyss has gone mad, and Abyss throws Tomko in the cage and slams the cage door shut.
Unreal how Abyss came to the aid of Sting. But no, he does. Oh, wait a minute. Christian missed with the belt.
Sting's gonna go. Can you believe it?
He hits the unprettier. He hits Christian Cage's own move. And here he goes. 1, 2, stun. No way. No way.
How close can you get? How close can you get? Sting, of all things, hits the unprettier. He was going to try and beat Christian Cage with his own move. Oh, God, clothesline, referee down. Sting avoided the contact, but Rudy Charles got leveled.
You can see he's got him goozled right there by the neck. And now you can see Christian fighting with everything he's got. Oh, no! Out of nowhere, Mitchell comes in.
Oh, yeah, Mitchell in with that cane from behind. That was just a wake-up call for Sting, who gets right in his face. Mitchell collides with Abyss, who's got that chain.
And you can see he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know what side Abyss is on. And it's obvious Abyss. And look at this, and Sting's got him in this.
Yeah, Scorpion applied to Mitchell. Abyss.
Oh, wait a minute. Remember, they said they were going to work together. Abyss just slammed Sting with the chain. Remember that conversation that Christian, I don't believe that.
I don't know. Abyss caught me unaware, that's for sure. That one came out of nowhere. Again, Sting got distracted. He put the Scorpion on Mitchell, and the Monster caught him with the chain, and then the frog splash off the top to the back. Gonna try and revive the referee and make him count.
Look at him roll.
Pin.
2. Christian Cage is the new champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Christian Cage.
He's done it. Christian Cage, despite the fact that his man, his insurance policy, Tomko. Did you see Mitchell laughing? I think you're right. I think I get it. You think he'd be upset at Abyss losing the title? He's just reveling in the fact that Sting didn't win it. It is time for the Against All Odds main event matchup. Yes, with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on the line, it is time for Christian Cage to defend against the challenge of the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. We go to the tail of the tape. And when you break down the numbers, there's not much difference. Look at the physical aspect of this match. Slight height advantage for Christian, but the edge in the Year Pro category would seem to be negated by Angle's experience. Yes, from a pure wrestling standpoint, you would look at Kurt Angle to have the edge in this match. Samoa Joe wants to ensure that Kurt Angle wins that NWA World title matchup so that he gets the shot. Thursday night on Impact, it was revealed Big Papa Pump is back in TNA.
the championships that this man has held in his career. But one championship he's never had. That's the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. We saw how focused he was. And now he has the comfort of knowing, believe it or not, the comfort of knowing that Samoa Joe is going to be out here or will be available to come out here to make sure that everything is all above board.
You're right. Total domination as both an amateur and a pro. You even heard it from Christian Cage earlier. Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist, 1996 Atlanta, Georgia at the Olympic Games, and he won the Olympic gold medal when he was competing with a broken neck. That's the intensity that Kurt Angle brings to TNA. The challenger is in the ring, and the champion makes his entrance. For a second time, Christian Cage wears the belt, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. History, tradition, prestige, those are all the things behind a championship belt that's been recognized for over 50 years. And boy, does Christian Cage wear it proudly, accompanied to the ring by the man that we've been referring to as his insurance policy, Tomko. He brought Tomko to TNA to ensure that he won the NWA title. He did so. He's the champ. He's got Tomko with him. And now it's time to defend the gold. Christian Cage is going to put it on the line. He's going to put it at stake against the Olympic gold medalist. We're going to send it to the ring. Jeremy Borash with the official introduction for our Against All Odds main event title matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your Against All Odds main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA official, Mr. Andrew Thomas. And now, live from Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, it's time for your heavyweight championship main event of the evening. Introducing, first of all, the challenger. He weighed in this morning at 230 pounds and comes to us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, he attempts to become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion for the very first time. This is the #1 contender and professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist. This is Kurt Angle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponent. Accompanied to the ring tonight by Tomko. He weighed in at 230 pounds and comes to us from Tampa, Florida, by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the instant classic and the NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Christian Cage.
For Christian Cage, yes, it's great to have Tomko as your insurance policy. You brought Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, back to TNA as your consultant for this match. But you heard what Jim Cornette said earlier. Jim Cornette said, if you are disqualified, remember, in TNA, you can lose your championship on a disqualification and security, as well as referee Earl Hebner headed out here to the ring.
They're making Tomko leave. They're sending Tomko out of here. You know, one of the things I noticed was conspicuous by their absence, the consultant Scott Steiner and Samoa Joe. Well, now they're making sure Tomko leaves, and I mean Tomko upset about it. You gotta wonder how this is gonna affect Christian Cage. It's kind of a confidence boost to look out there and see your insurance policy out there outside the ring. Now, it's one-on-one with Kurt Angle, and you wonder where Joe's lurking.
And isn't it intriguing that someone who loves to play mind games like Christian Cage and Boy, has he done that from the second that this matchup was announced. Now, all of a sudden, that insurance policy has been taken, that security blanket has been taken away from him. Tomko sent to the back.
Christian Cage going to have to reach down now and find some in. And you wonder about the events of today, how they've affected him. You wonder how the egos that were obviously coming into play between Scott Steiner and Tomko. I mean, it was obvious that Christian Cage did not have his house in order, even though he was trying to convince us that he did. But we discussed it. I mean, Scott Steiner's a lightning rod. You gotta wonder if he can play nice with anybody. And Tomko's jealous. He's jealous that now that Scott Steiner has kind of moved in front of him, or so in his mind. And obviously, it's going to affect Christian Cage right now because the only person he sees is the Olympic gold medalist in that ring, and that's Kurt Angle.
We talked earlier when we broke it down with the tail of the tape about how Angle, yes, on paper, he could out-wrestle Christian Cage, and boy, we're seeing that here. Look at Christian Cage just do everything to squirm and move to try to get to the ring ropes as Kurt Angle paintbrushes him on the end of Total Domination here in the opening minutes, out-wrestling.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
I mean, I know that music.
I do too. Look at the smile on the face of the challenger, Kurt Angle, and the look of concern on the face of the champion, Christian Cage. Looks to me like the unofficial enforcer has just made an appearance. Samoa Joe has arrived in Against All Odds. He's got the chair. He's walking down the ramp. Pull up a chair, Joe. Get yourself a great ringside seat for the main event title match.
I mean, think about this. Kurt Angle knows why Joe's here. He knows why he's here. He knows that Joe believes that there's no way Kurt Angle's going to lose this one-on-one wrestling match. And all Joe wants, let's be honest, he wants the title, but he wants to win it from Kurt Angle since he lost the 2 matches. But that being said, Kurt Angle now knows that Joe is out here, and no matter what Tomko or Steiner try to do, he knows that he's got backup.
It really has been the plan from the outset. In spite of what Christian Cage said, trying to plant those seeds of doubt in the mind of Kurt Angle. And you remember, Angle thought that Samoa Joe was the secret consultant, Don, initially.
So did I.
I think the world did. Oh, Angle just relentless here in the early going. He finally found out, Samoa Joe, you're the unofficial enforcer. Yes, Scott Steiner, you're the consultant, but you're right. Samoa Joe is here because Samoa Joe realizes that if there is not that outside interference, that Kurt Angle will out-wrestle Christian Cage, that Kurt Angle will win the NWA title, and there's the ankle lock.
Oh, he goes for it early, but unbelievable right there. Christian Cage just scrambles for that rope, and it's smart. You do not want to be in that ankle lock for any long period of time. I can tell you that, and then he just kicks him right in the rail. I've got to, though, ask you, though, when you think about the special consultant, Scott Steiner, really a stroke of genius when you think of his background, his wrestling background. Who better than to consult Christian Cage? And I'm wondering if we'll see any of that in the ring tonight.
Oh, man, face first. The Olympic gold medalist Angle takes Christian Cage and drives him right into the steel steps. Angle, total control of this matchup, Don, right from the opening bell, jumps off that ring apron with a double sledge to the back. Christian tries to mount a comeback. He gets one elbow in. Angle cuts him off, sends him right into the steps again, but the cheap shot, the rake of the eyes by Christian, turns it around.
I'll tell you what, that's the brains. Let's face it, Christian Cage, he's wily, he's clever, and that's how he wins these kind of matches. He outsmarts you, and he waited for the opportunity, and all it took was one poke to the eye.
Face to face now, the unofficial enforcer leaves his seat. Samoa Joe and Christian Cage, enables Angle to take Christian and drive him back first across the steel post, and then dump him on the entrance ramp.
Think about that, how effective was Joe there, and he never did anything. He never did anything. But all it was his presence that was able to get into the mind of Christian Cage. The world champion right now is in trouble as Kurt Angle can smell victory.
Angle rolls Cage into the ring. Gonna try and shoot him off, and does, directly into the ropes. High up into the lights with the back body drop. Circling in the ring, you can just sense the confidence. Angle knows a pinfall, a submission win, gains him the NWA World's title off the backbreaker, goes for that pin, gets barely a 2 count. Christian powers out using his leg strength, Angle right back to the pin again, and again, Christian avoids the 3.
I mean, Christian Cage, when you ask yourself, how does he win a match like this? Well, number one, he cannot mat wrestle with Kurt Angle. That's just not gonna happen. And you hear the crowd yelling, and now Christian goes up top, but again, Kurt Angle right there waiting for him. Anything Christian Cage does, fails.
catches him in mid-move, unceremoniously dumps him right into a pin attempt, and another near fall for the challenger. Boy, Kurt Angle has been in the driver's seat, this time chest first into the corner. Oh, man. The timing of Christian Cage,
Perfect.
oh, really worked out for him at that point. Able to avoid the contact, and at the same time, the challenger, Kurt Angle, his shoulder met the steel.
Well, and that's what Christian Cage has got to do. Got to have a little luck. Sometimes it just takes a little luck. And you think of the damage maybe that Kurt Angle did right there to his shoulder. Christian Cage is going to find out, and there's Joe, not moving, just sitting on the chair watching. And I think Christian Cage realizes he's going to have to beat Angle one-on-one.
Hangman-style neckbreaker outside on the arena floor. Oh, man, the back of Angle's head. As you can see, Joe, the concern on his face as he gets up.
Ruin this. Get up. Screaming at him to get up. Don't lose this. He can see it now, Christian Cage waving him off, saying, hey, I understand why you're out here, but don't interfere.
Joe acting as a cheerleader, providing inspiration to Angle, because bottom line, Samoa Joe wants to face him for the world's title next month at Destination X.
Right there, now look at this. Christian Cage turn this thing around. He knows he's got Angle reeling now, applying the feet right to the neck of Angle, taking that air out, taking that oxygen out. He knows that if Kurt Angle can't breathe, he can't wrestle. And that's exactly what Christian Cage wants.
Total complexion of this matchup turned when first Angle went out into the steel post, then outside the ring, the neckbreaker by Christian Cage. And it has been all the champion from that point. And now he goes first to the chin lock. And as we look over the shoulder of the unofficial enforcer, Samoa Joe, we see how this match has turned in favor of the champion, Christian Cage.
And look how he just continues to stay there on the neck. He continues to cut off the windpipe there and just apply that pressure. He knows that this is a way to beat Kurt Angle. You've got to take the strength out of him. You've got to stamp it out of him, so that Kurt Angle can set him up for his finisher, that unprettier that is so vicious when he hits it dead on.
Props to referee Andrew Thomas. You can see how close he's watching Christian Cage to make sure that he wasn't choking Kurt Angle. Oh, he sidestepped him and then flung Angle directly outside onto the arena floor.
It just takes a little luck sometimes, like I mentioned earlier. He got out of the way just in time. Angle crashes into the steel ring post, and it's been all Christian Cage. The world champion has it in total control right now.
It's been a tale of two matches. Opening minutes, all Angle, and then the Christian Cage comeback. And again, the champ knows, just like the challenger did earlier, you've got to beat him inside the six-sided ring. Rolls Angle back in, and now he's going to get a little bit of payback here. The open hand slap and the mid-ring slam.
Just scoops him up and slams him down right there as he tries to humiliate him in the process. And now the confidence. You can see the confidence growing right there in Christian Cage, but he misses. And looks like he caught his face flush on the mat.
Exactly what happened. Went for the diving headbutt and went nose first right to the canvas.
A little too cocky right there. He posed. Sometimes that's all you need is 1 second to recover, and that's what Kurt Angle did, and now they're just trading blows.
Yeah, check out this exchange. First from their knees, and now both men up to their feet, and Angle unleashes the uppercut, and then the front face lock. Look at him guillotine him.
Oh, you just do not want to ever give Kurt Angle the momentum back. Christian Cage made a serious mistake, and you can see Kurt Angle now. With every second, he's getting his breath back, his fire, and his power.
Angle puts on the brakes. I think Christian thought he went into the corner. Angle didn't and just tosses the champ down. Here's the pin.
One,
here's two.
Oh, Christian Cage fights it off.
Great move by Angle. Hooked the far leg so that Christian couldn't get the ring ropes and get the break on that pin attempt. Now, Angle, backdrop suplex. Maintains his grip, maintains his control. He's going to take him up again.
You can see right there, Christian Cage realizes, oh, it's got to be a helpless feeling to be in that grip. And now look at this, he's got him in a belly-to-belly form. Can he slide him over? Oh, here he goes. Oh, he went for that Olympic slam, but he couldn't do it.
Instead, Christian floats over. Unprettier on the way.
Here he goes. He's lined up. Oh, no.
Ankle lock.
Oh, he's got him in the ankle lock.
Perfect counter. You drop down out of the unprettier, you hook onto the ankle, and you twist and turn, and he's going to make the, oh, man.
Referee Andrew Thomas just got climbed over the top of.
Christian Cage life and death to make for the ring ropes, and he did. Thomas never saw it. He had his back turned, and he kicked him right between the uprights.
Oh, he did, and now he sets him up again. And he hits it! He hits it! And he hit him with a low blow, and then the unprettier, and this could be it!
No, turns him over.
Christian
Cover.
Cage,
Late
1,
hook.
2, oh, just out of instinct, Kurt Angle got the shoulder up.
Fighting on fumes. The challenger Angle got that shoulder. shot it high into the air so that referee Thomas wouldn't count 3.
The back and forth that this has done, Mike, has just been unbelievable again. A low blow by Christian, though, turned the tide when referee Andrew Thomas was turned away.
The unofficial enforcer, Samoa Joe, looks on from ringside as Christian positions Angle across the middle rope and now stands with all 230 pounds across the back of Angle so that his neck and his air is cut off with that steel cable pressed against his windpipe.
I mean, how many times does he win for the neck and the choke of any sort? I mean, anything he can, and look at Angle, they're slumped in the corner. It's just like he can't catch his breath.
That brought Joe out of his seat. Did you see that? He circles the ring, he surveys the situation, and then takes his chair once again.
Oh, he had to be freaking out when he hit him with that unprettier, but somehow out of instinct, Kurt Angle able to get the shoulder up, but Christian Cage relentless right now.
Level of confidence rising in the champ. The scoop and slam.
Oh, what an elbow.
Telegraphs the elbow, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, now do a little Scott Steiner on him there.
You could just see that. You could see this cockiness, this confidence off the charts, and you're right, emulating his consultant. Yes, emulating his consultant, Scott Steiner. You called it, DW, with the push-ups.
Oh, and that's just another thing. It's just insult to injury. He just, you could tell Kurt Angle knows what he's doing. He just doesn't have the breath right now to get, oh, wait a minute. Look at that, though. That's the mat wrestling we talk about. As you see Christian trying to kick him, but no. Oh, Kurt Angle's got the hold.
Gonna try and catapult him?
He does, right into the corner.
Slingshots him face first into that top turnbuckle, follows up, but as he charges in, Christian gets the back elbow right up into the face of the challenger. Champion headed high risk, going to the top.
Oh, look at how quickly, though, Kurt Angle went up there. Cat-like, he got him and slung him down.
Desperation move by Angle, but boy, does it pay off. Almost like he took every last ounce of strength to get up there. He did it, he said like a cat. Cat quickness, but what power as he just took the champ and drilled him back first to the mat.
I mean, it was a belly-to-belly suplex right there from the top rope. But Kurt Angle, that's how he is. He saw an opening, but you realize it took a lot out of him as well. And now Christian Cage gets to his feet, but there's Kurt Angle. Oh, the German suplex.
German number 1, count along with us. As Christian gets to his feet, Angle powers him up for a second time. A second German suplex, gonna go for 3.
Oh, look at Christian Cage just reaching for air. Oh, he hits with the third.
And look at this, he's still got the control. He's still got the grip. Is he gonna go for a 4th?
He sure is, and he hits
oh
it.
God, a
Forward
4th German suplex.
I mean, what? Christian Cage is being rattled around here.
He's just relentless. He won't give up. 5 German suplexes in a row.
Oh, man. Samoa Joe's got to be happy at what he sees. How much more can Christian Cage take?
You're ready for 6, my God!
6 of them in a row.
Christian, the champ is like a rag doll at this point.
He doesn't have anything left, and could he be going for a 7th? Here he goes. He does it. He hits it. 7 German suplexes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They're scoring along at ringside.
1, 2, done. No. Christian Cage able to get the shoulder off.
What else does he have to do? 7 consecutive German suplexes.
Well, look at this.
What?
AJ Styles.
What the hell?
Oh, come on. And you can see Samoa Joe coming around.
We've seen AJ Styles aligned with Christian Cage in recent weeks, even tag team partners on Impact, and the unofficial enforcer, Samoa Joe.
While that was going on, Christian Cage, the referee's attention was turned.
What happened?
And Christian Cage hit Kurt Angle with a chair.
What?
He hit it with a chair. I saw it.
I never saw it. They went flying by us. It was out of camera range. But Christian hit him with a chair?
He got a chair and hit him with it. And the referee was watching the action between AJ and Joe.
From the top, frog splash. No. 1, 2.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Able to get the shoulder up, there's no way.
Resilience beyond belief by Angle that time.
Listen to the crowd. They realize he took the chair shot, he took the frog splash, and he still, out of pure guts, willpower, got that shoulder up, Mike.
I'm even amazed that Christian can come back so quickly after those 7 Germans, but you can sense he's getting frustrated. Here it comes.
Oh, he's got the unprettier again,
no.
And he hits it again. And Joe comes back down.
10, 2. Oh, man, only 2.
Oh, look at this. Christian Cage can't believe it. and he pushes him. He just knows he had him. There's no way Kurt Angle can win this, can get that shoulder up. There's no way. And now look at Joe. Motioning for Christian Cage to come right out after him.
Why not?
He wants him to take a shot at him.
Get inside of Christian Cage's head. Here it is, ankle lock.
Here it is. Oh, he flips it.
Oh,
The
God.
referee takes a shot into the rail. The referee's knocked out. Joe realizes it. Clothesline by Christian Cage.
The tuck and roll was a great defense of the ankle lock, but the contact was made with the official, and you're right. Referee Andrew Thomas has been knocked out. Samoa Joe, the unofficial enforcer, trying to revive him. And his peripheral vision enabled him to see Christian Cage coming around the side, toss him back in.
Throws him back into the ring right there. It's Joe doing what you would want him to do as an enforcer. And now, Kurt Angle taking the straps off. And Christian Cage is going right into it. Oh, man.
Here it
A
is!
little two-gun salute, and there it is.
Olympic slam, but again, the referee's down and out.
It doesn't. There's nothing that the ref can do. He's knocked out.
Samoa Joe takes Thomas, throws him into the ring.
1, 2. Oh, Christian Cage just in time.
Angle on the verge of victory. Just this far away from winning the NWA World's Heavyweight title for the first time.
Wow, Mike. It's exhausting. What a matchup. And again, you see Christian Cage rake the eyes, and he hits the referee. Andrew Thomas takes another shot.
Angle ducked. Christian hit him, but boy, Christian never saw that clothesline coming.
Wait a minute.
Tomko
comes in a blindside show.
God.
Throws him into the steps. Unbelievable. And now he gets into the ring.
Give him the German suplex. Come on, Kurt. Oh, think of the energy, though, that Angle's expending with these German suplexes. He's tossing Tomko around. There's Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner just came by the table. He's got that pipe. He's got that lead pipe.
The referee, and keep in mind, nobody's actually made contact. What more does Kurt Angle have to overcome out there? Think about it. They've thrown everything at him.
Every obstacle tossed in his path. Samoa Joe clotheslines Tomko to the floor.
Samoa Joe doing everything he can to help Kurt Angle win this match. And now Joe says, finish it. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Finish it.
Christian, in the back of his mind, has to realize that a disqualification loss would cost him the title. As Joe and Angle come face to face, what are we watching?
Oh, suicide dive. Unbelievable. Joe takes out Tomko and Steiner. Takes them both out. This is unreal. But Kurt Angle again.
Right by the broadcast table. Joe, with those rights and lefts, has Tomko really? Scott Steiner right by us. Scott Steiner steel chair.
Oh, but Joe fights it off and counters it, and then hits him with the chair. Oh, and nails Steiner on the head. Look at Joe.
Oh, God, 2 chair shots to the top of the head.
Doing everything he can so that Kurt Angle can win this match. But look at Kurt Angle. He's taken everything he can take, and there's nothing left.
Tomko and Samoa Joe fight to the back. It's now down to Christian Cage and Kurt Angle for the title. Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Roll him up.
He's got it.
Ankle lock. Ankle lock.
And this is the second time.
He's had him beat. He should have the belt at this point. But again, the referee's down again.
He's beating him. I don't know what else he can do. What else can you ask of this man?
He's overcome
And
every...
he's tapping out.
Come on.
He's tapping out, and there's no referee.
Damn it, the referee's
He's got the pipe.
Oh, God.
He catches him with the pipe that Steiner brought in.
He drilled him right in the shoulder with the lead pipe. Angle had Christian Cage beat on 2 distinct, separate occasions. He had the belt within his grasp, but the referee was down both times, and now Cage tries to revive the official.
You can see Cage, he's still limping where that ankle lock was applied. And now he's woken the referee up. He's setting him up for the Imperium.
God.
And he nails it perfectly. Can Kurt Angle get his shoulder up again? Come on, 1, 2, no!
Ladies and gentlemen, on the match, and still NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Christian Cage!
Kurt Angle did everything but get his hand raised to become NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Don, you witnessed it. I saw it. He had him beat not once. He had him beat dead to rights on 2 occasions. We should be raising Kurt Angle's hand. We should be announcing Kurt Angle as the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, but that's not the case. The history, the prestige
of the longest recognized championship belt in professional wrestling, it's at stake next. It's time for the NWA World Heavyweight title match. We're going to break it down, and a quick glance of the stats shows the 50-plus pound weight advantage for the challenger, but the champ has a decided edge, yes, in experience. Last month on Impact, Samoa Joe outlasted 13 opponents to win the gauntlet and gain recognition as the #1 contender. In his second reign as world title holder, Christian Cage looks to build on what he refers to as his legacy tonight, another hurdle. Since arriving in TNA, Samoa Joe has made it clear he expects to be NWA champ. He dominated the X Division. Unbeaten for 18 months, opportunity is here to fulfill his quest. Samoa Joe tells the entire story. It's his ultimate goal, but will it be his ultimate destiny as they fill up the six-sided ring with the streamers? They greet the challenger. Samoa Joe is ready for his shot at the NWA World's Heavyweight title.
The first thing I've noticed is how prepared Samoa Joe seems to be. He feels it. He knows this is a moment to mark in history. His chance to become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Christian Cage, on the other hand, has been worried about where's Tonto. Will Scott Steiner be there for me? Will the Monster Abyss be there for me? Instead of concentrating on the one thing, and that's retaining that World Heavyweight Championship. We know how strong he is mentally, Mike, but you've got to ask yourself, is he fully prepared to take on the Samoan submission machine? Because Samoa Joe feels this is his night to howl.
The look on the face of Christian Cage cannot be described as confident. You talked about Tomko in Japan. You talked about Steiner concentrating on Kurt Angle. And you talked about Abyss losing that match, that last rights match to Sting. He loves backup. He loves support. He loves the Christians coalition, as he calls it. But when it comes to Tomko, when it comes to Steiner, when it comes to Abyss, he's 0 for 3 tonight. Bottom line, Christian Cage, you're on your own, brother. NWA World title matchup is next. To the ring in JB for the introduction. The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is your main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA senior official, Mr. Rudy Charles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios Orlando, it's time for your heavyweight championship bout of the evening. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my left. He weighed in this morning at 280 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of of Samoa. He is the #1 contender for the NWA Heavyweight Championship of the World, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my right, he weighed in this morning at 230 pounds and is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He is the current reigning and defending NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Instant Classic, Christian Cage.
If body language means anything, Samoa Joe incredibly confident. Christian Cage, it almost looks to me like it's a forced cockiness. The fact that he realizes he's a man on an island out here. No Tomko, no Steiner, no Abyss, but just one man. He looks across the ring directly into the eyes of the confident challenger, Samoa Joe.
I tell you what I saw, though, in Christian Cage. It was like a man trying to convince himself of who he was. Trying to tell himself, I'm the champion, I'm the champion. He started screaming at the crowd. And you know what? Sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta remind yourself, hey, I'm the one that's wearing the belt. Forget about Tomko, Steiner, Abyss, anybody else. It's now you and Samoa Joe, and one man is either gonna still be the champion or there's gonna be a new champion.
Champion and challenger come face to face and come nose to nose in the middle of the ring. Oh, smart move by Joe. I love that. Using the kicks to wear down the champ. He caught him unaware with that first one, and now he goes right and left leg.
You know, he's somebody that's so agile for a big man. For people that have never seen Samoa Joe and they see him for the first time, their first thought is not as confident as anybody else that has seen him. Within about 2 minutes of watching this man in the ring, you are in awe. You are just absolutely mesmerized by what he can do. You're mesmerized by his power. You're mesmerized by his speed. And you're mesmerized by his agility.
You break out that old cliche, and it really fits for Samoa Joe. Don't judge the book by its cover.
Yes.
Series of kicks by Joe here in the early going have given him, in my mind, a quick advantage on Christian. Because the more he uses those kicks, the more he takes out that vertical base of the champ, the better the advantage is going to be as the match progresses down the line. To the hammerlock now by Samoa Joe. Crowd incredibly showing their support. So vocal. Takes the side headlock and just bulls the champ right down to the mat.
Oh, you can see the strategy already in play. You can see what Samoa Joe's going to do. He knows. And you know, don't think Samoa Joe doesn't know the situation. He knows he doesn't have to worry about Tomko, Steiner, Abyss, and you think that doesn't give him confidence? Are you kidding?
Swinging and miss with the clothesline. And Joe takes Christian off of his feet by putting a shoulder block right in to the chest of the champ.
Wow, that just took him. Look at that. Christian Cage is lost out there. Oh, just breaks him right in.
That's one way to do it. Open hand slap with authority. Follow kick. Series of them. Right and left kicks. And the champ goes down.
Christian Cage, his one great ability is to use his mind and beat you in mind games and get you looking one way and coming at you from another. And you wonder what he's got up his sleeve. You think he's got to have something, but right now, Samoa Joe, bull rush. Nice elbow, though, by Christian Cage.
I think you're saying that there's no one to assist him in his diversionary tactics. Christian kind of surprises us by leaving his feet going airborne, and Joe just walks right out of the way, and there's the chop and kick combination, and the big knee drop. That's 280 behind that baby.
Oh, what a knee
Cover,
shot. 1, 2.
Whoa.
Christian Cage right now has no clue, Mike. He has no clue. And look at that knee. Look at Joe.
Oh.
What just shot after
God,
another.
those things are lethal. God, they're stiff. Here comes Joe.
Oh, well, just sends him right through the ring. As Samoa Joe in total control. Christian Cage, like we said beforehand, wasn't prepared. Now look at this. Samoa Joe bringing him over here.
Near the broadcast table in front of the broadcast position, but the quick reversal.
sends Samoa Joe shoulder first into that steel ring post, and all of a sudden, Christian Cage with that one move, and now took him and just backed him up right against the other steel post. Christian Cage, level of confidence rises just like that. Coming over here, looking for a steel chair, I'm guessing, pushing anybody and everybody out of the way, and here he comes with the weapon in hand.
Well, you don't stay the champ. You don't become a two-time NWA World Champ for nothing. This guy has resilience, and Joe. Look at the power!
Did you hear that?
I'd like to see that again. That was just unbelievable.
It was like a splatter sound.
I mean, Joe just measured it and waited, and now look at this. Joe just sent it right over the top of the rail. Samoa Joe, wow. The little bit of momentum that Christian Cage thought he had, it went away that quickly.
TNA fans, they've cleared the way as the Samoan submission machine takes him face first, head first, right into the wall.
While they're going up in the stands, I'm going to show you how hard. Joe slams Christian Cage down. Look at this right here. He goes up, picks him up, and just slammed him down.
I think as
like a splash.
equally as impressive as the video was the audio, and I hope you heard it at home like we heard it here. Headbutt by Samoa Joe knocks Christian down several steps of the impact zone.
I mean, Christian Cage, just anything he tries, it looks for a moment that he's got something going on. But Samoa Joe, he doesn't mind taking a little pain to get the job done. And now look at this, throws him against the wall, and Christian Cage just melts down to the ground.
I like the fact that the referee, Rudy Charles, has decided at this point, let's give him a little leeway. I don't think we want to see a double countout situation here. I think we want to see a bottom line winner and a loser. And I love what the referee has done. I mean, Samoa Joe, he's just taking Christian for what may potentially be a victory lap around the building, and he just tossed him again head first, and even high five for the fans.
It's a special night, and you can't. You've got to let this play out right here, and you said it. But look at Joe. He just winds it up.
Here he comes.
Oh, what a boot. He just busted the wall with his boot right there, and the crowd just loving everything. The crowd realizes Joe just smashed his face with his foot.
I don't recall Christian Cage being dominated in a match since his arrival in TNA that comes anywhere near this.
You know, we've talked about Samoa Joe. We've watched this rise. We've watched him kind of grow, as you will, here in TNA. But knowing this day was going to come, that he would get this opportunity, and man, he has taken advantage of it from the beginning. Christian Cage fighting. Oh, wait a minute. That might be the kind of shot that can turn this around.
He just planted it. He DDT'd him face first, dropped him on his head, right on the ring apron, follows up with a series of boots to the back of Samoa Joe, and it's like Christian Cage all of a sudden has a life again.
You know, that's all it took. I mean, I was sitting there basically just saying, hey, get ready for the end, and then Christian Cage saw an opening, took it, and now look at him come across and use that weight and grind it into Joe.
Smart move by Christian. He realizes that he's giving away over 50 pounds to the challenger. Get some velocity behind the 230 pounds that you have. And he did it. He sprung off the rope. And look at Joe fight back. Right hand shots. Christian's got those forearms and then the knee.
I mean, it was desperate. Oh, look at Joe, though. What a counter. He goes down, and not only does he go down, he spins the kick. Oh, but he misses. Cage able to get out of the way, and that's another shot. You can see the pain on Joe's face. Oh, he hit wrong. He landed wrong.
Missed the back splash. Opening here for the champ, and Christian immediately goes to the elbow drop. Put it right across the face and bridge of the nose of Joe. Barely got a 1 count, though, when he went for the cover.
Oh, now look at this. Just grinding in, grabbing the mouth, pulling up. Samoa Joe telling the referee to get him to break it. But now every cheap shot that Christian Cage can use, he's going to take just to get the momentum back.
Moves like that knee drop right across the bridge of the nose can be so effective. Because, Don, as you know, once you're hit in the nose, once you're hit at that part of your face, your eyes will tear up.
You black out almost.
You black out. It affects your vision. And it just stops the offensive assault that we've seen to this point of the match. And
now look
you have
this.
to give the champ credit for turning it around as quickly as he has under dire circumstances.
Now this is a good, smart move also to try to take the oxygen out of Samoa Joe, make it so he can't breathe.
I think Rudy Charles felt like that was a chokehold.
Yeah, it was. He was. He grounded in there. And look at Joe. He's wobbling. Joe can hardly get up, and You wonder, though, what Christian Cage has left in the tank after the beating that Joe gave him, and now going for a muscle buster.
It takes him up in the middle of the ring with the muscle buster. Usually he does it out of the corner. Oh, man, inverted DDT pin. 2. Oh, that was close.
Wow, so close.
Only a 2 count, however, before Samoa Joe barely able to roll the shoulder. As Joe gets to his feet, Christian takes him and drapes him, neck and throat first, across that top steel cable. Now going to position him across the middle rope. Referee Charles right in his face. And again he goes back, and now that's 230 pounds.
Using the ropes to his advantage.
Yep.
And just putting the pressure every chance he can. You know, Joe, oh, listen to that crowd. They can't stand every move that Christian Cage is making, but it's effective. Look at what he's doing. Joe is out of breath. Joe, oh, now he's just humiliating.
I don't think Samoa Joe needs a wake-up call.
No. Oh, that's just what you don't do. That's just
Chop
a list of rules you don't do.
Chop after chop to the chest. Christian cuts him off immediately, rakes the eyes, catches him with a forearm shot, now from the middle rope.
Oh, kick by Joe!
God, did you hear that?
I mean, Christian Cage thought he was coming off, and then, I mean, that was like something you'd see AJ Styles do. Samoa Joe is so agile for a big man.
You heard the sound of boot hitting flesh. It was almost like a shotgun went off in the building. Not sure he might have broken the arm of Christian Cage that time.
We got to see that if it's possible. It's just the fact that you have that kind of agility for a big man. It really is unreal. And you see them both on their knees now, fighting back and forth. One shot after another.
Who's going to get the better of it? As both men get back up to their feet, we take another look. Listen to this kick.
Oh, whoa, what a connect. Got him with the knee, too.
You're right. Knee and kick. Back live. Joe puts that double sledge right into the face of the champ. Shoots him off into the corner. Here comes 280 pounds in the knee.
Just climbs the ladder, sends the knee, and now that's what you do. Christian Cage, when he started smacking the head, and now look at the rights, one after another.
Corner mount.
Look at Joe, fight it on, though, fight it, hold on.
That's the weight. That's the weight advantage.
Oh, look at that. Referee's got to break that hold right there, man. That would have crushed the larynx right there, man.
Christian in trouble. Joe charges. You called the face wash. There it is. Bottom of the boot makes contact with the face. Pin.
1, 2.
No. But barely no.
Christian Cage able to fight out of it. But now it is all Samoa Joe. And I'll tell you, Christian Cage has had his moments. Oh, but look at this. Joe able to catch him again.
Here comes Joe from the middle row.
Oh, wow. Just another knee
now
shot.
He's got him. 1, 2.
No! Man, I thought we had a new champion.
Just that close.
Unbelievable. Now look at the look on Joe's face. I think he realizes how close it was.
Champion and challenger both get to their feet, but let's be honest. Let's be obvious. Joe's in control. Is he going to go for the muscle buster? I thought he was, but Christian fights him off with a series of blows.
Out of desperation, Christian then leapfrogs. Oh, what a slam!
Now we count. 2.
Oh, no!
Incredible series of near falls has put Samoa Joe on the verge of victory time after time, but give the devil his due. Christian Cage has not let referee Rudy Charles toll 3.
No, it's just on instinct alone. Now he's trying to hit the unprettier, but he just doesn't have enough strength. Joe's in control here, and look at the strength.
Powerbomb!
Man!
1, 2.
Unbelievable! Now he's got him. Look at Christian, he's got him now.
And look at all the weight of Samoa Joe directly across the STF, dead center, middle of the ring. He's got the crossface applied. He's got the leg hook with the grapevine.
Look at Christian Cage trying to do anything he can to get to the ropes. Joe pulls him back. Christian rolls over, and now he sends him over the middle of the ring, and he's got it applied. It's going to be over here in a minute.
Crossface. He still maintained the crossface. He no longer has the legs hooked, but he's got the crossface applied. And Christian trying to get up.
Christian fighting it with all he's got, and now Joe rolls him. Oh, wait a minute, now the referee. Oh, he's got his arm on the rope.
Just as Joe was going to go for that rear naked choke, just as Joe cinched in the Kakina clutch, you're right. The contact is made with the rope, and he's got to break it.
Unbelievable. He helped use that referee, I think, to kind of get the momentum with the roll. But he got his hand on that rope, And luckily for Christian, Rudy Charles finally saw it. Oh man, he just gets into one hold after another.
Unprettier!
Wait, he hits it! He hits it!
Out of nowhere! Drapes the arm! Hooks the leg!
Unbelievable! Two! Wow! He didn't get it! He didn't get it!
Definition of frustration. Take a look at the face of Christian Cage as they're rocking the building at Destination X.
Joe getting to his feet. I can't believe he was able to get out of that. And you can see, though, the hold that Christian's got, but he doesn't have any leverage with his feet now.
Yeah, it's a smart move now to climb on the back of Joe here at this point.
Trying to wear him out.
And took the life out of him.
Oh, that's how you defend that.
280 pounds of Samoa Joe crashing down onto Christian. Contact made with the canvas. Christian is rolled outside. Christian's on the apron. Joe's up. Here comes the challenger.
Oh, look at that! He just creams him! He just creams him! Christian Cage in concrete! Unreal! Christian right there on the ground. What a shot, but that took a lot out of Joe, too. And you can see now, referee Rudy Charles counting him out.
Yeah, putting in the count. He's up to 4. Joe, Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, both outside the ring. And I'm sure they can hear the referee.
Wait a minute, look at Christian.
Samoa Joe rolls on.
Christian's walking away.
Oh, come on. I mean, you lose the title by a disqualification, but you wouldn't lose it because of a count out, and he's going to try and walk out.
Oh, come on.
You gutless champ.
Unbelievable. Referee Rudy, he won't let him.
Look at the locker room.
They're going to send him back in.
The locker room empties, and they're not going to send him back in. They're going to toss his ass back in.
And that's it. You can tell Joe wasn't going to win by count. Oh, look at this. And now he's got him up high. Oh, he creams him.
Come on, Dan, get in here, Rudy. Rudy Charles.
1, 2. Oh, man, if he would have went, where was Rudy Charles? Unbelievable.
He was out of position, and it cost Samoa Joe the title, in my opinion.
You said it right there.
The hell was he doing up the ramp?
I was trying to get the other guys out, but still, you got to worry about the match in hand.
Inverted atomic drop. Oh!
You saw him throw the referee right in front. Oh, man.
No. Christian's got the chair. Joe has no idea. Joe has no idea that he's got the chair.
Oh, he catches it straight on. He saw it at the last second, but he couldn't do enough to block it.
Referee's down. Christian lateral press. He's got the cover, but Rudy Charles is down and out.
He can't get the pin. It's his own fault. Now he's got to figure what to do as you see Samoa Joe getting to his feet.
You can see the wheels turning in Christian Cage's head.
Oh, he's got a chair now. He's now getting more and more confident. Joe now getting up.
As Joe gets to his feet, Christian swings, misses, and Joe answers back, lefts and rights, shot of the Muscle Buster.
He
Get him
got
in it.
set up.
Here it comes.
Here he goes.
Muscle Buster.
Samoa Joe, and he ends it. Listen to this crowd.
Wake up, Rudy. Wake up,
got
Rudy.
him. He's got him. 1, 2. No! Come on, you gotta count. What kind of a count was that? Unbelievable. Listen to this. Samoa Joe had it. Again,
He's measuring him.
one.
Rear naked choke.
Oh, low blow.
Got a low blow. Just as Joe is going to hook on the Kakina clutch.
Christian Cage now going up top. Samoa Joe. What a kick.
Took his
How
head
did
off.
he do
He
that?
took his freaking head off with that
Now
kick.
he's got him. Look at this. He's got him in the hold.
He's got the clutch. He's got the chokehold applied. Christian, for dear life, hanging on. Joe turns him around.
There it is. He's got him in. Wait a minute. He's got his feet on the ropes. What just happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match is still NWA Champion, Christian Cage.
Joe's shoulders were down. When Christian rolled over, Joe's shoulders were down. And Christian, you talk about a fortunate champion. You're looking at him. He doesn't look like a champ, but